the situation. That's a Jersey Shore joke for all.
What's up?
There's 3 topics.
So, viewers.
Yeah, me. Pretend I'm viewer. Pretend I'm viewer.
Future viewers. All right, viewer.
I'm viewer.
Hey, viewer. Hey, chat. So we just filmed
Dan's
stuff.
game. Baby rich, baby rich, baby rich, baby rich, baby rich. What?
I don't love this.
This right now?
No.
Oh, what I'm saying?
I mean, it's chat. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. Ready? We just filmed a thing for the Bender, and it involved drinking. And
Special guest, Patti.
we're all just a little not there. And that's okay.
No, we're all here.
How many beers are in your hands?
3. I have a White Claw also.
Okay. So we have a different setup where we're rocking it.
Me. Can we do like a me, and we'll go up the. We don't have to.
We are specifically influenced by
barbershop thing.
by the old school Allston melee, by the people who are inside of us who might no longer be as prevalent
Inside of us.
in the content that you watch. We are currently inspired and taking an overlay note from the previous version of Allston melee. We just really decided, hey, why not, right? You can partially see Ryan's feet right now, which makes me upset.
No, I'm hiding my feet.
Is that a fat joke, PJ?
Yeah, I was fat
Who's
previously.
inside of you?
PJ, what the hell? Bro, I'm about to remove you from the
You've been
event.
working really hard.
Oh, speaking of, we're hosting an event. We did it. We
Oh wait, is this the one that's
No, it's not on the thing.
No,
Okay. Oh, this is
well,
an
it's
actual
gonna be
podcast.
released probably post event.
So,
All right, PJ. Since you're here, PJ. So, let's just catch everyone up. It is currently March 31st. The Bender, our premier event.
Guys, wait.
keep going. They don't know.
Our premier event, the Bender, Ultimate Bender, is taking place this weekend.
Just keep going.
All right, it's Why'd you do that?
I was gonna do that.
You turned the power button on.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I thought it would just be. It's like a monitor. All right, continue. Keep talking. Oh, we're there.
You
Cool.
turn off the monitor.
Yeah, my bad.
So what do you happen to shut the monitor? It goes back to the original screen.
I thought it would just disappear for a little bit. Keep talking, Ryan. You're being really distracting.
I'm really being unprofessional here.
Yeah,
I get you.
Uh-huh.
Oh, is it the wheel? Get the wheel out of here. Oh, God.
You could ruin this podcast.
Michael, you literally fucked up.
No, we're cool.
All right.
Nice. And now we need the chat. I'm a little stinker, aren't I?
Yeah, I don't know why you did
I don't know
that.
why I did that either.
It's like that moment where you cut our friend's finger.
There was a... Oh!
Anonymous.
Thanks, Anonymous.
Anom.
I don't know who you are, but you did a good job.
That's the whole point. Thank you, Anom. All right.
Okay, what were you saying earlier? I won't do that again. In fact,
Everyone,
it stays here.
chat, YouTube, Patty, Michael,
Hand back.
let's all take a deep breath. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Boom.
I couldn't hold it on.
Okay. It's cool. Today, March 31st. This weekend, April 3rd, April 4th, we have a huge event happening, the Ultimate Bender. Now, why is this important? We just concluded filming some pre-recorded content for the very end of the Bender, which might or might not include video games, alcohol, a Ryan winning Mario Kart, which you will probably never see, but it definitely happened.
I'm cheating.
And no, Michael got a dead last.
He did.
It was
Hey,
embarrassing.
help me.
Honestly.
What's it?
Patty confirmed.
It was rigged from the start.
I was second, and I am pre-Burial Card player.
Patty is a respectful competitor. Patty knows when he's beat, and what says when we got the beating in. Point is, that's why it looks different now. That's why we have a mic. We're so close. Ted is not here because Ted is on a business trip right now. He'll be back for the Bender. Actually, it's a future thing. I don't give a fuck. I don't
know what the fuck you're talking about.
I don't know.
Also work. It doesn't matter.
But the point is, PJ, you're in chat. And PJ is also in one of our main events for one of our starting events for the whole thing coming up this weekend. The Beantown Brawlers. PJ, if you're still around and you want to leave a comment about, how the event looks for you, what your chances, I believe you're right in the middle of the seating, which, we didn't touch.
Yeah, I think we're including PJ's perspective too much here. I think we need to really talk about our perspective more and less about PJ. Like, honestly, from this point on, we should probably just avoid PJ in the Twitch chat.
Yeah.
Patty, I think it's a great idea. But I do have to mention that PJ says he's the best player in the event.
PJ, you're not even on the...
He's gonna win, so clearly. So honestly, we are streaming Beantown Brawlers almost as a formality. If you don't know, Beantown Brawlers is a Boston-only invitational, a best-of-7 single elimination. Now you might be thinking, why is Beantown Brawlers best-of-7 single elimination? I personally have not heard of that format before, and you, my friend, have never been to a Beantown Brawlers tournament because that's what the Beantown Brawlers do.
They're not from Boston.
yeah, clearly.
It is so clearly a Boston thing to be best-of-7 single elimination.
To be honest, Five Dom did this very cool thing a while back where they, raised a bunch of money or whatever. So yada about Beantown Brawlers or something. Maybe there was some sort of Allston melee and Beantown Brawlers and some sort of Totify goal. But the point is that we are doing what we promised all that time before, and we're hosting the Beantown Brawlers event, which is exactly what we promised then. So yeah, it's gonna work fine. It is a single elimination bracket. There is no play for 5th or 4th place. I forget which place it is in a single elim, but yeah, we're just going straight through. And yeah, we're giving a best-of-7 because we never really heard of that, and we thought it was a cool, fun format, and it became very relevant that we only had the time allotted for single elimination. So we're like, hey, we want to showcase Boston scene, specifically our scene, in a impactful way on this cool fucking stream we're hosting. Why not get some of Boston's best players?
The best of Boston.
How is gonna work?
It's like Gotham's finest.
Don't worry.
How do you?
I think
we have a comment from Pog Melon.
We saved questions for the end.
No, I want to read. I want to do this right now.
Right now.
This is a special occasion.
Pog Melon, I think just hit a.
I want to take I'm taking a video.
Pog Melon asked, "How do you all mean?" And let me tell you, Pog Melon.
Immediately said who.
I'm interested to know. No, I hate that video. Turn it off.
Nope, it's going on the story.
Yeah.
What? Who do we all mean?
No. Pog Melon, who do you mean? We are here for you. Just like how the Allston Melee Bender is not here for us. Like you might think, these
it has our name in it.
This merch. Oh, Luigi. Okay, we're gonna ban you from the chat.
Luigi.
Get up. We're Luigi fans.
Pog Melon, I have great news. You are in a stream with an Ices, a Samus, and a Puck. So we're all cringe. You're among cringe mains.
Among us.
It's okay. And Falco. Nice. I also main Falco and Patty plays Fox.
Yeah.
And Mike. And Mike has like a dinosaur. What?
When the imposter is sus? I love you.
Sheesh.
Yeah, we're both.
What it's like to be in the side to Mike. Oh, Petra, recent Patreon sub. I know my people. Thank you. I appreciate it. You put in the work. Thank you.
I do. Well, he's actually right.
I like this really my belly. But yeah, the Bender's coming up.
I'm very excited.
We have a lot of things planned. A lot of balls are in the air, and we're just kind of juggling them right now and getting all the ducks in a row.
Listen, I'm a great juggler.
Patty, I will say right now.
You don't juggle shit.
Patty is a phenomenal juggler.
Wait, you mean like important things?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I was talking about real juggling.
I think Patty could also do it.
Have you juggled before?
Based on the way I see, because I see most things that Patty sees, as far as like DMs and like notifications. I think maybe not all of it, but I might
Definitely.
see like 70% of things you see, and I'm always like, that's not my category. so I know just Patty fucking just figuring it out. Like, okay, you can't commentate. I'll do this.
Yeah.
You can't do this. You can't do that. This person bailed. This person was salty sweet. Boom, 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 boom. Like Patty's doing it all. How are you doing, Patty? How is it going?
So what do you guys want to do? Do you guys want to do a fun victory lap podcast, or do you want me to speak from the burning, passionate part that exists in my heart right
Do you
now?
want to save that for the podcast after the bender? Or do you want
Victory Lap
No,
is
it's not.
next week.
It's not. I promise you, I'm not going to want to talk about the bender next
Okay,
week.
sweet, dude.
I can promise you right
Well,
now.
no, it's not done yet. We can't Victory Lap.
True. Definitely good
Tell you
point.
that.
Definitely good point.
It can we can start Saturday morning, and it can all go to fucking hell.
Okay, so let me talk some game real quick.
Talk some game.
Yeah, so this event, you didn't know, I worked at Smash GG previously. I'd like to think that I learned a lot of stuff from working at Smash GG. I'd like to think that I am, more appreciated in a resume sense, in a applying to an esports job sense, in a just like being a human being sense. Like I really do thank Smash GG for all of the previous work that I've done for that company.
Oh, because of that.
Just because of the point that I've gotten to in my life.
Because pre-Smash GG, you were a local TO
Yes.
in Northern Mass
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
basically hosted New Hampshire events.
Who was burning
Essentially.
who had a similar burning passion as the person who sits in this chair right now, but not nearly the same information or knowledge that I have now.
Same reach, same
Yeah,
skill level, same I even same ambition.
Definitely same ambitions, different goals completely. But I say all that to say I have learned an incredible amount from hosting this event alone. Like the amount of things, like I swear to God, I could manage a real company at this point and feel confident in like applying to that role. And like there are I endlessly talk about the benefits of Melee. I endlessly talk about how you can, benefit your resume in these X and Y, Z fucking ways. But like seriously, dead ass. Like I feel more confident in my ability in a professional setting than ever. And that is strictly from just this event and learning the things that I've hosted from this event. And yeah, I feel more passionate about Melee events than I ever have. Yeah, the small burning fire emoji that previously existed inside of me is now 10 emojis strong.
Patty,
Oh, Grinch moment.
I have a question.
Yes, please ask me a question.
What in the world made you want to do this?
You know what's hilarious? I learned a couple days ago that Sean Shuppies named this event that we're doing. I honestly didn't know that at all.
believe it.
Huh.
Like Sean just in one of our writers meetings, which we do for the top tens, was like,
Me, Sean, and Patty.
yeah, me and you were throwing around the idea of like, hey, we want to do this event, yada yada yada, 48-hour stream,
Yep.
5 Dom inspired. And he's like, oh, you should call it the Bender. And then we're just like, yeah, we're just gonna do that.
Going on.
And then we
I mean, it made perfect sense.
Yeah.
He hit the nail on the head.
Totally.
Because Sean, and that's why Sean's the meetings with us, is that Sean gets the vibe.
Yeah, really.
Like
Yeah.
Sean understands what the whole message is. Sean is all to Melee by
Yeah.
all means.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean it's a big thing, and I'll tell you, we have so much stuff planned for the weekend. It's like it's a lot of content, and 5 Dom was clearly the inspiration for it.
Yeah.
But like we're really making it personal and in our own kind of flavor, which I think is like so cool. We have a lot of content pieces made by people that we're really involved in, people that we know and like. The commentary is not up yet, no?
No.
Okay.
It's so sick.
It is good.
You're gonna
And if you're in the future, you know it's good.
yeah.
you know it's fucking tight.
Schedule's fire. I'll say the sketch was fire before the featured player list was fire, and the featured player list is fire.
It recently has gotten really good.
I'll say, hey, fun fact for all of you people, thinking about hosting your own event. Oh, Brentos, thank you, appreciate it.
Brenda's, I love you.
Thank you.
Big supporter.
Thanks for everything.
I'll say, if you're out there thinking, hey, how do I host my own event? Just message people. We messaged 40 top players, and in the time of us messaging those 40 top players, we were like, oh, we have a new first seed. Oh, we have a new first seed. And that happened 7 different times.
But-
I'm just like, oh, new first seed, new first seed, new first seed, new first
But
seed.
Patty, let's give some credit here.
Yeah.
I think a big part of that is not so. Number one, I think the vision is important. I think the fact that we're
Really?
like, hey, yeah,
I think I like Iron Man more probably.
and the vision.
Yeah.
Iron Man died.
Vision. Well,
Huh? I'd see Infinity War. I skipped that. I just want to see Endgame.
let's move on. Oh, nice.
No, the whole thing is that Allston Melee had a very clear idea of what we wanted to do, and that's huge. And then also, Allston Melee was built up on making great content, being involved in the community, trying hard. I think a great example of content kind of reaching that exponential state is Cypher and Bomb Smash Mountain, because you can literally be someone being Cypher who is not in the scene, has not been to a tournament, but if you can make great content,
If you care.
if you can interview people
Yeah.
with so much passion and just knowledge, you can get somewhere.
It also made me realize that even someone who's never been to this tournament, never had this total shared experience that we always talk about, can legitimately totally get the vibe.
Could totally get it.
Can totally get it just from there's a bit of can you figure out the Melee community through online events? And yeah, I totally
can.
believe because
You
of
can.
people like Cypher that you can. Huge shout out to Cypher and Bottom of Smash Mountain. I'm so impressed with how far he's come, and just the time of us being fans.
But that's the thing, right? That's the thing I'm trying to get at here is that if you are being passionate about your work and you are you're making content, you're putting yourself out there, you make some good ones, you make some bad ones, it all evens out. You put in the work, you start planning a big event, you reach out to people, and they say, Allston Melee, yeah, I know the fucking name. I will be a part of that because I know you're doing things and I'm there. And I think Bomb Smash Mountain is this kind of same way.
Mhm.
In that it's just just you can't compete with good content.
Mhm.
Is the end of the day. End of the day,
Totally.
if you're doing good stuff, you can't compete with it.
I'm gonna throw you into the ring in 1 second.
Take it down.
Michael is on the pylon, just waiting for the tag.
Need additional pylons.
Tag. I am
Let's stop
Eddie
that.
Guerrero, and you are his
Let's hear it.
partner.
Who?
His brother.
Carlito. It's Eddie Guerrero. No,
Come on, Ryan.
it's it's biscuits and gravy. It's a really bad WWE
Gravy and
reference.
biscuits.
I'm tagging you in now because I feel like you're not relevant.
Huh?
So yeah, we did a very cool thing, also Melee Bender. But really the part that we haven't talked about is the entire lead up to this event was completely focused on merchandise and untapping this thing that we've done previously. I think it's totally reasonable for you to be a fan of Allston Melee and just be not really queued up to the things that we've done previous to Allston Melee. All of us have directly worked on NEI 3, different events in the past.
Except for him.
We've done events.
Oh yeah, like Beantown.
Listen,
Ryan's been,
Michael, I had a big part of it.
You have a huge. You had a
Hey,
huge part.
hey,
I
I'll have
was
you know,
saying-
Ryan commentated top 16 on
That
BTS
is true.
Smash of Mom Memorial,
That is
which you might be like, oh, why are these guys on BTS Smash? It's because Ryan's already commentated there, and specifically for an event that me and Sean have done.
I'll stop there too.
So yeah, I think shut up. I'm trying to throw him in the mix. Come on. Anyway, so yeah, I think it's totally reasonable to be like, these Allston Melee guys, the fuck are they? Why are they on BTS Smash? But like we've been around, and the fact that it's taken a year and a half for us to host this event means that we at least have thought about it for a year and a half. We have thought about how do we host this really cool event.
It's been a while.
Yeah, so long.
We've had the idea of having a long stream, kind of in the idea pool for a while.
Yeah.
And it was really about reaching out to BTS and kind of like proposing this full vision that really got that going places. Because once again, it's just to say this one more time, like the thing is that you need to have an idea and have like the idea fleshed out. Like Patti had the whole concept down and knew what it needed to be, and now got the pieces together to make it happen. And that's how you make things happen. You can't just say, everyone likes to be an ideas guy, but you need to be someone who can also get the pieces together to make the idea happen. And I think, Patti, you specifically,
I appreciate that.
Did a great job at making that actually come together and happen.
Thank you. I very much pride myself on the ability to be an ideas person, but also like at least kind of like I don't
doer.
I don't think I'm an ideas person. I'm much more of a doer, but like just to be like the pusher for that part.
Hey,
but hey, I was going somewhere.
doer.
I was going somewhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, we hosted this really cool event, and a huge part of it was getting our
it's coming.
being confident in the thing before we were confident in the thing. Like being confident the merch would sell just because we have this brand, we have all these artists who are involved, we have this vision of knowing what cool merchandise from the Master G shop would look like.
Fuck our brand. You look at that merch and you tell me you don't want a single piece of it. That merch is good. If I saw that merch linked for an ultimate stream, I would still buy that merch. I don't give a fuck. Our designers did so well. Specifically, Mike, I'll tell you this.
Hi, what's up?
The Allston rat shirt is so cleanly like a shirt you can buy, and there's no, we're all gamers here. Let's be clear.
Put gamer card down.
We all are
gamer card?
gamers.
Gamer card?
What's that?
Gamer
Gamer
card?
card.
I don't have my wallet on me,
Gamer
actually,
card?
but
Gamer
it's...
card? I understand.
Personally, I put my gamer card in face down defense position.
Yeah, no, totally.
Nice. I don't like to show it too much, but like that long sleeve shirt in general is like just a good example of a shirt that like is our brand, is also Melee, is not overtly a gamer shirt.
So I have a couple questions to ask you, Mike.
Yeah, sure. I'll be the merch guy.
To wrap it back to a point, we hosted this thing called NEI 3.
Yeah.
Where we hosted a merch shop, and it was similar to a summit style event.
Yes.
Where people could buy your merch in order to get
Players.
points
Yes.
to contribute to a player who could get into the very cool invitational style event.
Which sidebar Habs won handedly.
Yeah, Bonk, we got Habs Bonk Cushy.
Habs literally destroyed this.
Oh, there
Habs is the Nem of Nem.
I was like Calvar one. What are you guys talking about?
We literally
understand what you mean.
we
Yes,
literally
the part
got
that
them
mattered.
in so easily. It was insane.
So
Anyway,
that said, for anyone who doesn't know what NEI3 is, please give a short description of what merch you contributed for there and what you learned.
What did I do?
From hosting the NEI3 merch shop?
I did. So the NEI was a very fun summer summit style invitational for New England players, and there was a load of merch that me and Phil Scarfo contributed to, among other people, I believe. I did a long sleeve, the Crush 40 long sleeve. I did. Fuck, what did I do? I did the Mario tank top. Dr. Mario.
You weren't the Tom Brady one, were you?
That was me.
You did Tom Brady. I did the Captain Falcon Patriots logo. But you know what? It was very funny.
I also did the New England Melee Anorak.
Yeah,
which was the best
seller.
Yeah, have you know?
That's all encompassing. I had the Captain Falcon Patriots logo. I think it was on a.
Yep.
It was just a hat, or maybe it was a shirt.
There's a hat. I have the hat.
I also have the hat.
Michael Depp has a hat.
It's a decent hat.
It's a great hat.
What else did I do? I know Scarfo did the fucking wiener. Oh, I did the snow wiener combination shirt, and he had a sweatshirt that was the antithesis to mine because we both did the same.
Ooh.
I have both.
Yeah,
I love snow wiener
It
merch.
was so much fun. It was my first time doing esports merch. I've done merch for other things that were art school related because that's what I did. And it was great. It was a learning experience because I had to work with a client that had very specific like when I was doing other things, the client was always like, hey, here's the deal. It can be this. Let's see your vision through this. And that was great. And with the esports stuff, it was like, hey, we have relatively limited resources for what we can print and or what we can implement.
Totally.
And so I had to work among certain restrictions, and it was very helpful because before I was allowed to do whatever I want, and it made me really have like a blast. But this was challenging, and the challenge actually pushed me to go in certain directions, and it was a fucking blast. The merch sold really well. Everyone enjoyed it. I still see people wearing it at certain events and stuff like that. And for this to carry on and be something that I'm personally involved with as a member of Allston Melee, it was a really, 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 really good time.
But Michael, how did that whole experience kind of influence your designs this time around?
Was there anything that you learned from doing merch there that you were like, I either want to do stuff differently or the same as what I did there?
Sure. I'd say that I did a lot more concept pieces because I didn't yet know the limitations to what was going to be available for purchase at the time. So that was easy for people like you who have experience doing something like that to pick and choose what would be most effective in that scenario.
Yeah.
So I did a bunch of like the Allston Rat had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 things that we're able to choose from. It's like, all right, this is probably going to be monocolor because if it was multiple, then it would cost more money to put on a shirt, whatever. I'm like, cool. So I'm going to choose very strong silhouette. And if a very strong silhouette is something that's recognizable and you can put it on a shirt, it'd be like, hey, cool. This doesn't need any extra. It's just the rat with the 40 on it, and like that's an Allston thing, and that's one of the most popular.
And maybe one less L.
Yeah, I forgot how to spell Allston on 2 different shirts that I made. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, as an artist, and especially with everyone else there, too, because what we did again before we did like actual event setup was all of the merch stuff.
Sabi, thank you.
Thank you so much, Tommy.
And we had like weekly critiques for the artists to come in and be like, this is what we need for this, and what would you change about this?
Yeah.
And it was fucking very, very helpful.
In a different experience than I think that is one of the things that I learned.
Yeah.
To be like, oh, merch people have better critique on merch than I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can give as much vision as I possibly can. But just to have like, to have Scarfo critique your stuff while Scarfo is actively working on merch for the shop was, that was definitely one of the things where I was
it blasted me right back to art school because every week we would go into a studio class, we'd put up all of our work on the wall, and then we go around in a circle in order and be like, before the final, say you put up something, and me and Ryan are here, we'd be like, hey, this looks great. I would change this and this about it. And that's literally what it is.
The lines here aren't great.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. Well, one thing that I will say that I think I really appreciate about our event in general, right, is that, and I think this is a critique on the Melee scene events in general,
I think there's a lot of us.
They're really, events lack themes.
Outside of
events lack personality. Like, what is, and I love these events I'm about to mention, but what is Genesis's, Big House's, like, SmashCon, what is the personality?
Yeah, they kind of build off of a lot of the created narrative from
their legacy.
The people. You know what I mean? The people are like Mango Armada is a legacy of Genesis. Well, so that becomes like an integral part of Genesis. But I like what you're talking about.
If we were to head Genesis, right? If we're put in charge of the merch of Genesis, you know what we would do? We would make Mango Armada merch.
Yeah.
We would.
Yeah, you're totally right.
We would try to find a way.
We would do the rest in some. That's like one of the first things that would be brought up.
How do you personalize the merch?
Genesis, right?
Like I will say I gotta give credit like to someone here.
It's very funny.
that is really good.
I gotta give credit to someone here. Almost the entirety of this event would not have been done if it was not for Smash GG believing in us.
Yeah,
and
they did a great wild shit.
Yeah, they really did.
And believing in you, Patty.
Yeah, that was a part where I was like, I really sold this event on like, hey, we ran this really successful event, NEI 3, with the entirety of a merch shop that you guys thought was really impactful. We want to do that, but in a cooler way, and apply all the stuff that we learned fucking, 2 years later. So yeah, I really got to give huge credit to them for being able to you guys can do fucking all this stuff, because I guarantee if we were if we didn't have that added context of like of I don't want to say me, but like the added context of them believing in us, it would have been a much harder sell to be like, hey, we want to do 20 item merch shop,
20 items with a beat tape and a
Thank you.
skate deck.
Yeah,
on
beat
it.
tape and escaped like multiple shit you've never sold on your
Some of
platform
the
before.
best selling merch in the shop and the most like creative.
Yeah,
Like so cool.
I'll tell you boys, Smashy G is proud of us. So thank you. I appreciate it.
That-
I'm big fans of the merch.
It was a lot
the
of
merch
fun.
people specifically.
I love Smashy G in general. You know, you can give him shit for a number of things.
This is actually one of the things
But-
I almost brought as a topic here.
Huh?
If you want to transition to a Patty topic.
I want to finish off with some merch stuff.
Yeah, please.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Merchandise.
NEI 3 happened, right? You learned a lot, and
Yeah.
then you came to this event with the newfound knowledge of how to apply those things. What is like the first thing that you wanted to do for the Allston Melee shop?
So when you were bringing this up to us personally, and you're like, hey, we're going to do this event. It's going to be Allston Melee focused. All the merch is going to be basically Allston centric in theme and look. Like that. I'm like, cool. I don't know how I'm going to make that work, but we'll figure it out. And again, with all the critiques, we kind of figured out how to focus in on that Allston stuff. I know we had some trouble with like certain aspects, like kind of honing in on Allston via Melee, because like, what are we going to do? Like Mewtwo or like the staff shirt or whatever.
It became a point where like we can't have Allston Melee on every single fucking shirt.
Yeah, because nobody's going to... Yeah, exactly.
I want to take a huge step back.
Okay.
One second.
Sure.
And I hate to interrupt you, Mike.
No, I'm down.
Please do.
This is the part where you-
Huge step back here. There is a reason why we're called Allston Melee. And the reason is very simple. We stole the branding. Allston is a very personal, a very specific region that we all vibed with so well that we wanted to be Allston longer than we lived in Allston.
Yeah,
true.
no, it's totally true.
Like Allston's very it has so much personality here. So and you know, like, so we wanted to be Allston. And the thing is, so Pog, dude, that exactly. Like, we wanted to be Allston so much so before we moved to Allston. We knew we wanted to move to Allston. We knew we wanted to be in the center of Allston. We think the whole Allston community rocks. It's very alternative. It's very like new age. It's very kind of like degenerate, but also like, you know, like creative and more like a better space in Boston, in my opinion. So like us being named Allston Melee was just so easily stealing the branding that, in my opinion, already exists in Allston.
Yeah, PJ, I'll talk about that in 1 second. But specifically, like, yeah, I think I talked about this actually a lot on JD's podcast.
I can't wait to watch.
So
honestly,
if you're watching this on YouTube, you could probably be able to look up State of Melee and be able to check out my podcast
on YouTube, State of Melee, featuring Patti.
But yeah, no, I talked about yeah, shout out JD. But I talked about a good bit of like, you know, the OG behind Allston, because yeah, like exactly that. Allston Melee's branding is not just Allston Melee's branding. It's Allston's branding.
Yeah.
Allston is a subsection of Boston. Fun fact for all those who aren't aware, like, it's just too expensive to live in the place that you think of Boston. You know, the Seaport Center
cannot.
where Shine was hosted, the part where you think of that is Boston. That part, yeah, this is not possible.
Not even close.
For anyone who's not Shidang. But yeah, so basically the idea is
Tony Stark car.
yeah, Allston is this beautiful you know, dive bar / punk show / just basically every
Beautiful filth.
yeah, you throw every grassroots scene possible into the same spot, and then you make them all host a basement show. Shouts out, thank you, Analog. And that's what Allston is. So the ability to just really, you know,
And so what separates us from a lot of tournaments, including things like 5-Dom
yes,
and everything,
We
all
drink
the big
beer.
majors, we drink excessively. No,
no, yeah,
is that you went into this tournament with a theme in mind. And there's been other tournaments that do something like that, like all the summits. They're like, this is the theme for this summit,
yeah,
which is cool, but it's a lot less organic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like they choose, all right, this will be the anime one, this will be the superhero one, or whatever.
No, you're totally right.
But this is very personal for us. This is what we're built on. It's all the people we got to do merch are from the greater Boston area for the most part. everyone put a lot of heart and soul into making these and critiquing them. And it's very different from regular merch. Everything that's just a logo on a shirt.
But I love you just bringing that up specifically. That we are also heavily inspired by the things that BTS Summit has done.
Sure.
Like absolutely, like the ability to create gamer merch in a world that to create gamer merch that isn't gamer merch is really the easy way to say it. Is I think the coolest thing that BTS Summit or BTS Match has done. Like
I don't know if it was
top
you guys
5.
or somebody that I talked to on the internet, but it's like the best merch you can sell for like gamers or for gaming things or tournaments is it's things that aren't that. It's casual wear that just has an essence of whatever the thing is on it.
Because taste, so you know, but everyone else doesn't have to know.
Yeah, absolutely. Because one, it's obnoxious to shove something in somebody's face if it's on your body. You know what I'm saying? It's like whatever.
Yeah.
That's why when I designed the even the skateboard, it has their faces on it, but it's not like it's a logo for us.
Yeah,
you know
now it's so conscious of us.
Yeah,
it's to be like, yeah, we shouldn't just put our faces on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last bit on this before we switch into something else. Mike, I just want to ask you, what's the coolest part about making really cool merch? Because you made some really cool merch, and I really do think that you learned a lot from the NEI 3 shop. I think that we all learned a lot. Like from my perspective, it was like, okay, how do we make 20 fucking New England Melee anoraks? And I think you guys did a fire job at taking that idea that Patti had and making it, cool fucking shit that can actually be worn. Like I think the Ash Gray Allston Melee Rat is a great example of that. Like I think everyone having their own key product is a really cool part of it. Like every single one of the artists who are involved. So I say all that to say, what's the coolest part about making some baller ass merch?
It's beyond self-satisfaction. It's the people who you don't expect to buy things giving you compliments for the things that you made and being like, yeah, I'm just going to do this. I've gotten so many people who DMs from people I do not know being like, hey man, I just bought this. Thanks for making that because I think it's really cool. And I was like,
and they don't have to do that.
Sweet man. They don't have to do that.
They're already doing that by buying it.
Yes.
And then they're like, hey, also, person making this rules.
Yeah, thank you for this. And I was like, man, thank you for buying it. I should be thanking you. And it gives me a lot of motivation to do things like that and to do it again, but better.
Like a direct thing I hope happens is I hope all of the people who made merch for Allston Melee can make merch for different Smash companies.
I know for sure.
The idea of like maybe one or two of you doing the next like BTS Smash lineup is so dope.
At least one item, right?
Yeah, like hey, you apply and they consider you is like, you guys have multiple things that you can put on your own resumes now. And that's cool.
I have a portfolio.
That's what we talk about all fucking time on this fucking channel.
Thanks to NEI and this, I have like a sizable portfolio of things that I can send to things and be like, hey, I've done this and it's sold. So maybe I can do this or that. Or
one last question. Was the NEI 3 the first time that you sold your art?
No.
In that form?
Oh, for like
merch.
Clothing. Yeah, for merch? No.
I just want to ask.
But it was the most I've sold the first time I did something like that.
One second. Thank you, curly hair Mafizio. Michael, you're the expert reader in the house.
Mafioso.
That sounds way
Mafioso.
better. Curly hair Mafioso. We love that.
But yeah, I love designing merch. So here's hoping that in the future, whether it be for our things or like things or whatever, I would love to work on it.
He's not also Melee exclusive. I can promise you.
One of my favorite moments, and I don't want to out them, but like was seeing a DM from a popular content creator asking for like, yo, who made this sweatshirt? And we purposely didn't link their work because it wasn't like a public thing.
Yeah,
at the time.
And like just the fact that like, just like, yo, I need this person to work on more stuff is, in my, from my perspective, as not being that person, very cool to be like, wow, like they hunted you down. They really want some more work from you. Like that's so cool.
It's cool. But yeah, thank you guys. It was thank you for putting us on because that's it really pushed everyone. It was cool.
Yeah, I'll directly say that I have big plans. Like I don't think this ends at the Bender, and if it does, Patti had a good run. Fuck you.
Yeah. Famously had a good run.
You don't die. Should we get to some of these topics?
Yeah, let's do it.
We should. I just want to, because since this is the pre-Bender pod, I just want to quickly run down what we have going on.
Totally.
Weekend.
Absolutely. Yeah, we should.
We should. I think we have an obligation to. We have the Beantown Brawlers. 8 of our favorite Boston players specifically.
Big Yoid currently seated to take it.
Yeah, Big Yoig. We also have a fan favorite in our house, Ant,
Who has to play
also in there. PJ, who's in the chat.
PJ versus Claps next match into Clutch Judicai is the last one, and then before that is
Tien and not Psy. Tien versus
Clutch and Sty are playing. So Tien and the only other player who's
talking about? Okay,
there,
my bad.
Younger. Thank you, PJ. Younger. So Tien and Younger. So a cool thing about the Beantown Brawlers is accidentally, I will say full on accidentally, it became a up and comer of mass versus the old guard.
It did.
Like for all of the round ones, it is the new player in Massachusetts versus the old person. And you could make the argument for, that extends different time periods totally. Yeah. But the new person versus the old is like accidentally what happened for the entirety of round one.
I'll tell you, Patty, I did not, until recently, I didn't realize how much of a fucking relic Judicai was. I had no idea. I literally,
Tombstone.
I knew he's been around, right? But like, the fact that we're doing research and it's like, yo, Judicai was there, is like, dude, in like 07?
Yeah,
like,
no, he's been around.
Like,
I think the realization for us was
Blade Breakers.
Blade Breakers.
It's
But
crazy.
yeah, moving on to the next event, New England Cruise. We have the 6 states from New England deking it out. I will tell you directly, GJ, that Jesse did not determine the cruise. That was determined by Mass specifically. And I will say, I think it was definitely a crapshoot in terms of who gets put on the crew. I think it was like, hey, we need you to do this. Can you please figure it out? And then they figured it out from there. And then we never asked
PJ, if I was in charge, you would have been the second pick.
But there was a designated captain in a way.
Yes, I think the big surprise for a lot of people was not that PJ was on the Mass crew. It was that Slocks and Lynch were absent from the CT crew. So specifically, Lynch controller absent, doesn't have a current controller to play with.
What?
Has been kind of he's been taking a break from Melee.
Okay.
I think he entered a little bit of the Untitled, but he doesn't. He's not one of the types that feels the same fire from online events. Lint is someone who I think has previously taken names at the top tournaments. That Genesis Shine has had big wins and
Lint's phenomenal.
Absolutely prides himself on that moment. I think he doesn't love the I beat a top player in Untitled and no one really notices. That is my personal read. And
to answer Brenda's real quick, Makari is definitely one of the top players in Mass, but he's he's been playing for a long ass time. But Makari hasn't been in the top tier.
Hands
has always
been. He's had broken hands.
Yeah,
is that true?
Yeah, he's actually recently a box player. I think.
I didn't know that.
Pete.
Yeah, I think he's a box player now.
I like that.
Maybe I'm talking shit, but he's at least tried it and tweeted about it. I think. He's very active talking about his hands. So that might be just me creating a narrative there, but I know that he entered the Bender and was like, fuck my hands. I'm just going to fucking play.
Yeah.
I don't suggest that to anyone, but
No, Pete, better or worse, has always been to me kind of like that 9th place player. At least in my generation.
Yeah, totally.
Has always been that person who's like, almost there, really good, will fuck anybody up. But that top 8 thing, just not quite there. In a crew battle, I can understand why the captain may not have picked Makari as the pick at this current time.
Also, recently, more Fox than Mark. Audio Titan has been showing up more than Makari has.
I'm gonna miss the Pete.
Oh, really? I didn't know
Neutral
that.
beat from Ledge.
I might be missing some information there. But yeah, so we have Beantown Brawlers, we have crew battles.
It's gonna be really cool. I'm honestly really pumped.
I really hope Mass pulls some crazy shit.
Nem crews are better than most crews.
Yeah.
Well, most state crews, I would say, because Nem is very close together.
This also
Ridiculous.
hasn't happened in so long.
It hasn't.
Like I just threw this together because I thought this kind of had to happen. Like in terms of, we're showcasing the New England Melee scene.
Mhm.
If Allston Melee is all about showcasing New England Melee day one, then how the fuck are we not going to put New England Melee crew battles on? But yeah, someone brought it up that I think it hasn't happened since like 2009.
Are you serious?
Like it's been an insane amount.
Really?
It was supposed to happen at like a Mass Madness, but then just didn't.
And the
Because
problem is
CT didn't
that
show up?
being in one place is
Fuck
hard.
CT.
Yeah, honestly, like being
It
able to do
was
it
hard.
online is incredibly easy.
It is like multiple.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Effort's
It's
easier.
very easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cruise is gonna be great. A lot of really cool players and a lot of great teams.
As PJ brings up, there's 2 puffs on the math
Science
team.
Twisty.
Sign Twisty.
Which are both very to be against PJ here. Both very different puffs.
Yeah.
Run different like sectors of mass, I'd even say. Like,
Hey, we'll get to it later. Ranked third on the tier list, the new official, whatever the fuck tier list.
But
we'll get there.
we've gone through day 1 of Allston Melee.
Yeah.
What's on day 1 of BTS Smash, Ryan?
BTS Smash, I believe it's doubles. It's like the main focus there.
There's nothing, but we'll get to it.
There are several doubles events going on, and also volleyball.
So yeah, it's we start out with some 11 a.m. dubs pools, like to really bring you back to the old school of I'm watching a major on Saturday, day 1. I'm watching doubles pools. And when's the last time you watched doubles pool? I know a lot of people might have a negative connotation towards that.
So it's doubles pool.
But yeah, we're really trying
Your
to
commentary goes to die.
No, it's really like this is what a major is.
It is.
Being able to be on the doubles pool stream and being like, yeah, maybe not, and go to the other stream, or maybe be like the opposite. Maybe be like, nah, I don't want to watch PJ. Actually, I'm gonna go to the other stream. Like to be able to have that option is really what we're trying to give you. Like you pick the journey you have on the Allston Melee Bender.
And
stream.
given that the only majors I've commentated that had doubles, I was only allowed at majors. I've only been allowed to commentate doubles pools.
we are the doubles.
We are the doubles pool
commentators.
commentators. And guess what? You're allowed to do the most bullshit when you're commentating doubles
are.
pools.
You
'Cause
are.
it's less regulated. It's gonna be a blast, given our lineup that I will not spoil. But it's gonna be so much fun to listen to. So I hope people really tune in to BTS
Yeah,
Smash.
and if you're not, go
Definitely.
hang out with Thunderface, Spiff, and Ron on the New England Melee. Yeah, Beantown
which will be
Brawlers.
my favorite block.
I just
You
spoiled the
but
block.
it's the best
But
block.
yeah, you deserve
If you
the
want to
first
watch
block.
singles, yeah, it's there's a lot of things going on. It's going to be a great time. Those people that have doubles, there are. I mean, I haven't really seen parts of the bracket, but I'm seeing Rishi Laud as a team for doubles. Like
The
that's-
first seed, pretty sure.
That's insane. I
Yeah.
cannot wait to see them compete together. That's so cool.
Big shout out Rishi. Rishi was on the fence of entering because of his internet, but I believe he locked down an internet option.
Figured it out. Don't
Got
think he
in.
lived
I
with.
think he's
with
got
I think he's
in.
going somewhere to play.
okay.
I don't know.
I thought he lived with Zayn.
Hey, just happy to have. I'm a
No.
huge Rishi fan, so that's phenomenal for me.
Yeah,
What
we
else?
got 6 dubs and then volleyball ladder.
Volleyball ladder
We are-
was more of a recent discovery by Patty.
Nope.
Not from you. Who was it?
Venti.
Venti. Oh,
Venti.
Venti the god.
Yeah, yeah, we made the realization that no one's really done volleyball ladder, and also on the just the idea of you should not lose twice in volleyball and be kicked out.
Be done.
You can't be kicked out the court on 2 losses in volleyball. You gotta stay on the
The
court.
Boys and Girls Club.
It should be your choice how long you want to stay on the court and and queue up for the court.
Mhm.
So we're giving people the minimum 2 hours to play some volleyball ladder, and then it'll probably filter into a top 4. Maybe it'll be a little bit longer than 2 hours. Maybe it'll just be 2 hours. You'll figure it out the day
Let's
of.
see.
But yeah, like a minimum 2 hours. Just have those courts open. Try to make it to the top 4. I love the idea of calling it courts open instead of a ladder.
Court's open.
The court's open, bro. You can play in the court.
Good.
You want to play in the court?
We have endless
Like an NBA
setups.
Jam.
Just go
Yes.
ahead. Just go ahead and play.
Spoiler: that is not the only ladder event we have featured on the event, but that will conclude. No, it won't. It'll
one.
be the main section of BTS Mash before the finale of top 4 of doubles, which I will again spoil and leak the current commentators.
No.
Top 4 doubles.
Because it has a point. Because there's a point, Ryan.
Hit me with it.
Because it's a point for me and you.
A point.
Oh, yeah, you
Yeah.
get close.
Am I doing it?
No,
I'll listen after this part.
Ryan, there were in New Jersey, in Atlantic City,
New Year's.
we had a moment.
Oh, we had a moment.
Me and you both.
We were
said-
already fans somehow.
We looked at each other. We said, you know who's the dopest commentators ever?
It's
Say it with me,
Shakespeare and Jack
Shakespeare
Zilla.
and Jackzilla.
Yeah.
And we were like, you know who we should fanboy more for? Just for the fact that they probably haven't been fanboyed to?
Yeah.
Shakespeare and Jackzilla.
We were canonically their first fans.
And we fanboyed on them so hard to the point where it might have gotten uncomfortable one of the days.
To the point where we're not best friends.
yeah, we were friends.
We
were friends.
fanboyed so hard that like now me, Jack, and Jake and Patty, we're all so tight.
Yes. But
and
it's a full circle of
Pat-
having Shakespeare and Jackzilla on top 4 of doubles.
Pat, you know the crazy part is too. Before I knew Shakespeare, me and Zach shat on Shakespeare. We were at Genesis 4. We
Let's
were
go, PJ.
we were walking around the venue, and me and Zach's connection flight to California.
Mm-hmm.
We had to stop by Chicago,
Oh,
and it was so rainy and gross.
that's funny.
We're like, wow, this place fucking sucks. It's so rainy and gross. Like
Windy
knowing that weather changes, but like almost being like, oh, this place blows.
It's like you're on a layover.
I
Right?
made a whole joke about it, right? We're like, this
No, that's fine.
sucks. This place can't be ever good. We get into Genesis. We're walking around. And for some reason, the Chicago people being very vocal about being like, yeah, we're from Chicago. Me and Zach walk to the elevator. We look over and they go, Chicago blows!
That rules.
And we kept doing it to him. And eventually, Shakespeare personally invited us over. He goes, guys, come here. Why Chicago blow? And we're like, we've been there once. It was rainy.
For like we were there for an hour or whatever.
It sucked.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
then it's like, okay, it's cool. Do you guys want a beer? Drank a beer, chilled out. It's like,
Chicago's kind of cool.
that's kind of good. We're like,
I guess we like Chicago now.
and then fast forward, we're all flush. Shakespeare, Jackzilla. It's a fucking duo. We're all about it.
Cool.
But that is the mostly for day one. Yeah, I mean I love those guys. I mean I have Jackzilla as well. Cannot wait to have them on the mic. It's gonna be a great time. Day 2, we have singles. We have so many good singles blocks
Bender singles.
lined up. What else?
What? I mean, day 2 is mostly just Bender singles, and then we have
Yeah, on both streams.
yeah, exactly, and then late night content or early morning content or whatever you want to say.
Yep.
From both things.
And on both nights, we're gonna have some great midnight content from our favorite content creators. Definitely wanted to, just get anybody involved. A big part of the event was, we had midnight content for like us, but like our 3 a.m. content is the West Coast's midnight content.
Correct.
Our fucking 5 a.m. content is somewhere in Europe's like prime content.
I'm awake. Time to watch some.
You know what I mean? So like, it's not about like us specifically. Of course, the events that we are going to be running are going to be in our time zone.
Yeah.
But the idea was that always something would be happening that would be interesting, and only interesting but something we want to highlight, so everyone can watch it if it's there. And there'll be so many VODs. We're going to separate the VODs out very well so that it's all accessible on YouTube and such. But
Yeah, no, I think the content is super cool. I think there was an active resolution of we could just phone this in, we could easily just make 10 hours of bullshit content, and maybe 4 hours of it is Allston Melee just staying up and not paying attention to the chat.
We can do it.
And instead we actively were fuck that, that's bullshit. Like if we don't care, then we're not caring about this stream. And just I legitimately think some of the coolest content of this event will be shown at 4 a.m. and that's cool because although the East Coast time frame might not be as cued in to that content, there is totally someone who is browsing the Twitch channel in fucking Germany who's gonna have this crazy experience on the Allston Melee stream at 5 a.m. our time of being why is this the dopest content I've ever seen? And suddenly be fans of people who we put on our stream because we believed in their vision.
We like them.
Can we have another quick who's on there? We have the Crack Shack.
No. Don't even talk about it. We're gonna have a full. You got a little bit. We're gonna have a full content schedule coming soon. We're really trying to put our birds in a row before we fully announce
birds in a row.
Yes. Patty's.
What it's saying.
Patty's sayings are so.
I think it's ducks in a row. So you almost got
birds in a row. Birds in a row. Falco birds in a row.
I was explaining to my grandma that when I edit your scripts, and I'm Patty'd be like, there's a cow in a very specific store that's fragile. And I'm
a bull in a china shop.
You mean bull in a china shop?
Yeah.
It's that's what I mean.
That's what it is. I got it.
But I say that to say sleep. Don't try to stay up.
There will be VODs.
There'll be VODs.
All the people that were hosting our event will be posting their own content on their channels, and we will do our best to link you to those from our Twitter and such.
But if you want to watch it live, I guess you have
to watch it live. It is the weekend, Easter weekend. Maybe you have Monday off. I don't know. Companies are weird.
We'll get to that at the end. But real quick before we get to it, singles, really cool event. We have IBW, Zane, Laud, Rishi, Ben, Gatsu.
Ben made it.
Ben's in. Ben's been
Ben made the cut.
Oh, Ben, fun fact. Ben lives in Wisconsin. Has never lived in Minnesota. Has always lived in Wisconsin, but has always been on the border. So he's been ranked in Minnesota. But he has technically always been in our state. We've been really strict about our East Coast region lock. I'm sorry to the folks who got excluded. I promise that if you feel like you're on the East Coast and we excluded you, we will have something for you soon. If you are not on the East Coast and we excluded you, there's a chance we try to get to you soon. But we're really trying to focus on any future events, keying in on our home region and giving the ability to the people who we feel closest at home. Hopefully, maybe something we do in the future inspires West Coast people to do a similar thing. But yeah, we're just experimenting with region locks. We're just trying to figure out what works the best for us. Maybe we don't believe that the current Slip B events are the best way to host your own event, and we're just trying something different. Maybe you guys are right. Maybe we'll change it after. But we're trying our best.
It's the first run. We're trying. It's gonna be great. We like I said, we just recorded a thing for this event, and I'm gonna echo a point where if you see anything during this event that you really appreciate or you really enjoy, let us or the content creators know, or both, that you like it, and we can pass it on or amplify that, because I can guarantee you there's some content happening this weekend that you've never seen before. And if you really like it, please tell the creator so we can make more of it happen. Not us specifically, but at least be hey, so-and-so, you did this great piece. Can you do it more? We, from our audience, from our comment selections, we have gotten so much praise for this. You should do this more if you have the time and resources. So, that's the Bender this weekend. If you're watching this right now live, sign up. If you're still there, please sign up.
Sweet.
If you're in the future, you probably are signed up. And if you aren't, I guarantee that there is something building in the future that you might be interested in. So we're just gonna leave it there. Michael, you know what I'm saying?
No, I was actually just gonna say
Give me a kiss.
nothing. You want a kiss? I'll send it through Patty.
Give me a kiss.
All right. Give it to Ryan, please. Thank you.
And we got it. All right.
Really passionately. I'm not.
Did you really?
Yeah. How do you fucking smooth
Give it a little.
shoulder?
Give it a little. Just like
That shit was passion.
Should we do the wheel? Are we doing the wheel?
Let's go to the wheel.
We're wheeling.
Get out of here.
We're
Get
gonna
out
out
of
here.
passionate topics.
I hate
All right.
passion.
We're wheeling.
It makes me uncomfortable.
Fuck
I'm gonna
passion.
tell you, everybody, there's no hard wheel.
That's fine. We'll run through wheels.
Quick wheel. Quick wheels.
Quick wheels.
Quick wheel.
Oh, you almost got it there, drunk Ryan. There you
All
go.
right, ready? I'm gonna spin it both ways.
Wait.
Oh, I have to.
Oh, other way. Oh, you got it. Yeah, go for it.
Are you doing both?
Yeah, he's gonna do both. I'm
Okay.
in a weird spot.
Are you ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
I think you did
Nailed
it too. Yeah, good job. What does this say?
This is Borp method outdated.
Give us
what
an
now?
Well, let me explain this.
Please.
So I saw a tweet
Yep.
from a podcast, from an Allston podcast favorite. From Allston, fuck the podcast part. An Allston favorite. The Crimson Blur.
I'm a Blur fan, frankly.
Who was tweeting about how he was theorizing how Borp, and if those unfamiliar, Borp, the Chic player,
That doesn't tech.
who is known for not doing any
Technical
skill.
stuff, yes.
Doesn't wave dash?
It's not a wave dasher. It's not an L canceller. Is really if you aren't basically just pressing as few buttons as possible, I would say.
I've lost
And-
the money match to Borp.
And
Recently?
No.
Okay.
Long time ago.
Look, so the point is here is that Blair was saying, I wonder if that the current skill level of Melee kind of invalidates the Borp meta. Do you think a Borp can exist and do, and this is a very big quotation, well,
Yes.
that's totally dependent on your definition,
Mhm.
well, with the limitations of not doing, let's say L canceling, wave dashing, shield dropping, etc. Advanced techniques.
What do you think?
An initial thought from my brain. I think we talked about Borp in the past, like way back when we started the podcast. He's come up in conversation because it's Borp.
Borp is a famous person in
Yes.
the community.
Even when we were talking about him then, I feel like we were already past the point where that was a legitimate play style. You know what I'm saying? I think that maybe I'm a crazy person.
No.
I think with the current skill ceiling being as high as it is, you unfortunately or fortunately have to learn certain very skill intensive techniques in order to compete at a high level. Blank. There we go. Period. There I'm at. Yeah.
Pat, any thoughts?
I hate to almost throw someone under the bus here, but I do feel like Dreffin is almost like an evolved form
the modern day Borp.
of that.
Borp V2.
And Dreffin be making waves in every single East Coast net play bracket you've heard of.
Entering all of them too.
Yeah, definitely a frequent editor. So yeah, I do think that Dreffin is kinda the most similar person we could possibly equate to the top level, especially like someone who's been around for longer than Borp. But yeah, I think it definitely was the first time, Crimson Blur brought up a good point where I was actually curious what I wondered what Zuppy versus Borp would be. I immediately assumed Zuppy's going to win, but I do think that there's a bit of what will happen to that sort of match. Which I don't think is as relevant for some of the same people who are in the Borp class, I'll even say, in terms of when you got involved in the scene. But yeah, it was a point where I was I wonder what would immediately happen because Borp knows their game, Yeah. Borp knows exactly what they're trying to do. But I do think more than ever the top Fox players, the top Falco players also know that part. Like I do think that's the part that's different, where previously it was like the Fox players just like doing custom combos to win. I think more than ever, Fox and Falco and every single character has confirmed setups to how to kill, how to edge guard, how to do all these things. Which I think Borp was honestly like strong at. Like it is basically the point that I'm trying to say, is that I think
Patty,
Borp had these things.
I have to interrupt you there.
Yeah, totally.
So you saying Sheik doesn't have those inherently?
No. I'm saying Borp knew exactly how he was going to kill someone every single time. He was gonna forward tilt fair them if they're at this percent. Like that was the key thing, which I think a lot of people learned from Borp, where it's like, oh my god, it looks so weird, but it also looks so like flowchart. It looks so like, oh, this is the like I know the percent when I need to down tilt fair as opposed to forward tilt fair. I think that's the thing that I think is the most key with Dreffen. The thing that I equate to Dreffen a lot is that Dreffen fucking knows these percents more than almost some Sheik players do, just because he's been at the down tilt fair percent more than other Sheik players. That's basically the point that I'm trying to say is that Fox players also know now when Shine up smash kills.
So Mike said no.
Basically,
or Mike said yes. Mike said the Borp era is kind of is gonna pass.
Yeah,
I believe so.
Well, so I'm not sure if I can grasp your point there. What's your verdict? Are you saying it's gone? Or are you saying there may be a place for it?
Like ultimately, I think it'd be interesting because I think I just think it would be a sort of gameplay where it's like it's the most exaggerated version of kill setups possible, because that is Borp, and I think more than ever Melee players are getting to that point, which is cool. Like I still think that like as sort of like a tap thing in Melee, but I do think if Zuppy was to play Borp, it would be a wash. Like I just think that I think that like the top current Melee players would just kind of run over someone who's, been in that sort of tier previously.
Also think of how much because I don't know how much people have learned from that era of game and how much they've built upon that. You know what I'm saying? So I think people are just past Borp.
Yeah, I think people have those skills. Yeah, is basically what I'm really trying to say. Yep. Is that I think the skill of knowing when things kill isn't as like of a specific thing anymore.
So the Borp era is over.
I don't know.
I'm gonna say yes. Final answer.
I still think knowing when kill setups work is like super relevant. Like I think that could get you through round one pools a lot of times. Totally. Do I think it could get you to beat a top 100 name? Probably not. But I do legitimately think it could beat you. It could get you through round one pools a lot of times.
Here's the way I'll put it. I'll say I don't think Borp could place the highest he's ever placed now with the same play style he had when he did previously.
That's a good point.
There we go.
Totally.
Boom.
I'm on the same page, Mike, where personally I think that this whole competition kind of hinges on the fact of what is good.
Yeah, totally.
What is a good play? What is good? Because I'm some pointing this out in the thread, which was to go positive in an online tournament about, is just winning 3 sets out of 5. Like that's doing good at an event.
Sure.
Can Borp style do that well? I think absolutely.
Probably.
Totally.
Yeah. Because I think one thing about Melee that, is maybe at the detriment of the video game is that experience and knowing what's going on can outweigh so many aspects of the game.
But on that note, I think Ship of Fools could make it out of round one pools. They even recently fucking one of the members made it out of Big House. I forget who. I think it was a Puff. I can't remember who. I don't want to talk on my ass, but I know specifically someone out of made it Big House 6 or 7 pools with just playing the same game play style that they were playing from 2008. Like I do think that there is an added benefit to just knowing the experience and knowing what's going to happen after the setup happens. Like I think that's so much of Melee, and I think that's so much of why people are good just because they know what's gonna happen after jab hits, after up throw happens, after
And I've seen so many comments in this chat right now, I'll tell you, saying that Borp would destroy Blur. And Chad is 100%
right.
correct.
You're right.
absolutely.
We haven't brought it up because you're right.
So, yeah, I have to point it out. So incredibly correct.
Yep.
Like,
And Blur probably knows how to shield drop. Blur probably knows how to X and Y and Z.
Blur knows some stuff. The thing is that, like you were saying, Patty, like the game plan and like understanding percentages and when things work, when things don't work,
Doesn't change.
Some people's game.
is a huge.
Yes.
There's no input for that.
Yeah, when you have solid game sense, you beat people who who have less game sense than you. Like a majority of the time.
That's exactly what I'm saying with the Chip Pools thing. Yeah, they just know what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So I don't think it's necessarily outdated, personally.
Yeah, that's fair to say.
I think that and this is kind of a detriment to the scene in general, and I apologize, but I do think that experience in Melee takes you a long way, and seeing a lot of outcomes can really help you identify what your plan needs to be in the situations. So, I should mention, but the tech skill barrier, the one with the tech skill thing is cheesy and stupid.
Yeah, I agree.
It is literally like you're in a way not being cheesy by not doing stuff. But in a way, you're being extremely cheesy, being like, no, I don't wave dash. Like, that's so... It's not cheesy. It's corny.
Yeah.
It's so corny. Like, I like Borp. I mean, Borp had some... Borp introduced me to a great song in one of his comm videos. I think it's a Puff comm video, among other things. That's the way I like it, or something.
That's the way.
Not that
I
one.
like it.
It's like my head's full of rocks, and that's and that's the way I like it. It's a good song, but his simplistic style of playing Melee, I think, can still get him enough wins nowadays to justify a quote unquote good bracket. Being a good now, as you point out, Patty, is he beating any up and comer right now? I don't think so. There's no Borba's not beating LSD, not beating Zuppy, not beating Bobby, not beating like any other like really tournament winning player. Like, no fucking sir. These players are cracked out of their brain.
I think he could though. I think he could totally beat.
So like in a set.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Consistently a better player, a winning strategy, I don't think so. But a winning strategy enough is having the game plan, is having the game knowledge enough to get that positive bracket record. I think so. I think the Borf method is still viable today, but people who are getting the Melee should avoid that at all costs. Don't forget the game. Don't fucking try to be the non-tech skill person. No. Like that, the Borp can do that because Borp has been around for fucking ever. Borp was a name when we were entering the scene.
Yeah, totally.
Like,
I think
Borp has been doing this.
I think ultimately, it's just the state of the scene growing up a little bit. I think there eventually will be a different, similar, I don't want to say gimmick, but a similar type of play style that will emerge from the scene.
Mm-hmm.
The new Dreffen will come to life, and whether or not that's Borp or not, we'll see. But yeah, I think it totally could legitimately be Borp. In all actuality,
if I hear the name Borp one more time, I'm gonna explode.
Cool.
I've been borping out of my mind.
Borp!
Hit me with a wheel.
Let's move on.
Sick boy.
Borp.
Borp.
Who will
All
the
right.
average mark like
And
Michael,
Michael, give us a spin.
And it goes. Which way does it go? Is it this way?
All right.
Wait, chill.
Okay, you got it. Tell me when you got it.
3, 2, 1. Go. Oh, I was supposed to go that
Oh,
way.
I put the
That's
lead
my
option
fault.
in.
It's okay.
Hopefully it's the same. It's a different one. Excellent.
What is this?
Excellent. SCL Peeps. Where's my mouse? There it is.
The invitationals for SCL happened. They invited
Oh yeah, this,
2 different divisions.
this is stupid.
Let's
Really?
Let
I think one of them is
Michael,
fair.
let me lay out the whole list, and then I'd love your opinions on it.
Can I just hear a stupid first, real quick?
No,
the reason it is stupid is because of the list. So I'm gonna let him
okay.
do the list.
I think it makes more sense to go through it.
Yep.
So, and we have to assume that the order of participants
Matters.
is the seating.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll do
Because of the way that Division 1 and Division 2
Correct.
Yes, I think we could assume that, right?
Yeah. I think it's very fair to.
So, starting at 1, Zane,
Mm-hmm.
Mango,
Mhm.
IBW,
Crazy. No, it's not
H-Box,
crazy.
Just
Ginger,
keep going.
S2J, None, Wizard. Finally see the Falcons together. I'll play it right now. It's the group shot of the Falcons just like hanging out together is very funny.
Oh, this thing could never do on the old
It's
setup.
very funny.
Nice.
Okay. That's Division 1.
Yep. So wait. Before you continue,
Yep.
is this? Are we sure that the order is the seating? Like, are we?
No.
No.
We are
So
not
we're
sure at
shooting in the
all.
dark because it could just be for promotional. like-
Yeah,
imagery.
so if I were to see this, I would say SJ should probably be a lot higher.
Then Ginger should be lower on this list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as far as like I think like a general seating goes, this isn't terrible. If you're seating for the event, I think saying Ginger is better than the 3 Falcons. Ginger might be the 3 Falcons.
You're an insane person.
I think it's crazy.
For the most part, I don't know.
I mean, Falcon is a bad matchup, and I think Ginger could probably beat those 3 players
Okay.
in that matchup.
I don't know.
That's where I'm at.
Okay, continue, please, with the
So
list.
that's Division 1. Division 2, Moki, SFAT, Axe, Hacks, Sunsei, Kalamazoo, Aklo, and recently added Kadoran.
Yes, I've seen that. It's pretty cool.
So
Pretty
those are our 2 divisions. Now I want to point out a few things before I get your opinions on it. First off, the only Sheik in both divisions is Cody Sheik. Is IBW Sheik.
Ridiculous.
There's no face roll. There's no
Mm-hmm.
Plup, I assume, opted out.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no Spark. Spark's in a different country right now, I
Mhm.
believe.
Can I say a point on that real quick?
Sure, go ahead.
Face Roll hasn't entered events in months, I think.
Well, it's since the
SEL.
yes,
Yes.
Would you think SCL2 might be
one of
the
the
comeback?
yes.
but
Plup specifically opted out, pretty sure.
Yep. I
And
believe so
then-
as well.
Oh, hell yeah. And then finally, Spark, currently in Pakistan.
Yes, different country. Could do it. But still crazy to
Yes.
see not a single Sheik, despite the circumstances, not be in there.
But
given that Sheik has had a huge
I think that all means that besides Face Roll, that top 2 are at least reached out to, or at least
Yeah.
were considered.
absolutely.
Is that it's like, oh yeah, Sparks in Pakistan.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
think so as
fine.
well. I also want to say that Division 2 has 6 Foxes in it. Then we non-Fox players being
That's
maybe not 6,
okay.
maybe I think it's 6. Then we non-Fox players being Axe, Kalamazoo, and Kadoran. Everyone else, Aklo is definitely a Link main as well.
Look at Casey's in
But
there.
you also have Tunsei, Hacks, SFAT, Moki, Hacks, all which are Fox players, which isn't a big deal, but just saying that, with that kind of second tier of melee perhaps is more heavily favored towards Fox. No LSD in this. I believe we know this because LSD don't have a control at the moment.
LSD has a controller now, registered for the Allston Melee Bender,
Really?
but I
Woohoo!
think previously did not know if they were going to have a controller.
Okay, so definitely a problem with them not knowing. So big points to point out before we jump into it with y'all is that one of the biggest intentions I think Mike was hinting towards was
This is the elephant in the room.
the H-Box over Moki. Moki was tweeting about how he wasn't having it, And I do want to mention before we get into it that although the initial seeding might be jarring to some people,
If it is seeding.
well, even Division 1, Division 2.
Yeah,
You know,
Which is that is
seeding.
division. Okay.
That is
gotcha.
seeding.
Super matters.
Yep.
Even if that is the case, people who are not supposed to be in either division will be weeded out. So, although they are starting maybe in a better position, being Division 1 to be knocked in Division 2,
Mm-hmm.
or Division 2 to be knocked out, if they truly don't deserve to be there, I think the odds are against them to stay in the bracket.
What I'm saying, Ryan, is that it's by putting them there in the first place, even before the tournament starts, you're making a statement about the current setup of everything.
I agree. And Michael, who are you talking about?
It's clearly, and I think everyone's been talking about it, and I've had talks about this with people. It's HBox. HBox has been performing well. He's been punching below the belt for a lot of the time during this era of Melee. He's had some great performances, but most
he did win a tournament in January over SFAT twice.
Mm-hmm. That over SFAT twice.
And for those, SFAT in Division 2.
Yes.
So
that's not a bad player. It's just that given his career as of late, it's very unfair to a lot of players who have been putting in a lot of very good work to put him that high, and it's almost rude.
Who do you think should be there who's not?
Do you mind if I look at this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you very much.
Moki.
Thank you, Patty.
Moki's a clear pick. Moki's a clear pick.
I think they also knew that by putting Moki at the top of Division 2. Like I really do believe that they knew what the outcry was going to be.
If we're following the left to right scheme and seeding, which
It did.
if we're looking at Zane, Zane Mango, IBW,
I feel like they wouldn't do that unless
if you look
they
at
were
Division
trying to
2
imply something.
and we see Moki and like hacks in the beginning, like this makes perfect sense.
But
as
to give them a little bit of credit, like I totally see why they did it the last time. Like HBox was the previous Summit winner.
Yeah.
Like it makes the most sense for him to be in it. I think the people who are like he shouldn't be in it, like I think that totally makes sense because he's the last Summit winner.
Yeah.
Like I understand that a lot of things has changed since then,
Yep.
but yeah, like then I was firmly on the train of like I can't see how you're on this opinion. But now I gotta say that I think I think it is jarring that HBox is in Division 2. It does feel a lot like the TO seeding when live person events come back. You know that a HBox is going to be like top 4 at the first event back, regardless if he's been like fucking up tournaments. Because there's totally the world where he goes off and he has a tournament, and it's all because he hasn't been in person.
Mm-hmm.
But it does feel a little bit like it's the first tournament back, but it's not. It's just this is SEL season 2, and it's very likely that HBox is gonna get fucking washed into Division 3 or whatever.
It's very, very likely.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, Patty, I'll say that there is a benefit to being a certain seed number. Avoiding matchups. Like seeding is very important to a tournament structure, especially when you're in contention of winning the event. That's where, and HBox I think will always be, not always might be a stretch, but what in this short kind of future, he's still in contention for winning any event he enters.
Mm-hmm.
As being that best player. And I feel like they're respecting that opportunity by giving him a higher seed. Now, is it entirely deserved?
No.
I don't think the wins dictate that, but the legacy and what they know the potential is does.
This is so clearly seeded by Aiden.
Yeah.
Thank you, Patty. I was gonna bring it up. I was gonna do a bit where I was like,
I
don't know who seeded this.
I don't. So HBox, I'm not happy that he is there because I do think there is some kind of I don't love the bias in legacy opposed to results personally. I think results should be the driver of seating. But if you're seating for an event,
The crazy
how
part is-
low can you put an H box?
Crazy
How
part is,
low can you put an
I,
H box?
I legitimately feel confident in that I couldn't argue for why this is it, but I also feel confident that if we had Aiden here right now,
He could convince
he
you.
could argue
Yeah, that's fair.
for why
No,
this
he's-
is why this is set up in the way that it is. Like that is the
I'm-
weird part where it's like I totally feel confident that I couldn't, but I know that possibly someone could.
As a dumb bitch who just watches these things.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
As a dumb stupid bitch who just watches these, I feel ashamed.
Totally.
I think I get it as far as you look at the field and you ask who can win this event.
Yeah.
And you see
Yeah.
Dan, you see Mango, and you say, yes, they can definitely win this event.
Yeah.
You see IBDW, you say, of course, he's up there. There's no left in this field, sure. Who is next? Like, you've all the Falcons who have not won really any kind of big event.
Besides Johnny.
Besides Johnny, you have all these Foxes who, once again, don't win any huge events. And then you have H-Box, who could certainly win a huge event.
I think Johnny got shafted. Where is he on this fucking thing?
Well, if we're going by the seeding on it, by order, Johnny's the 6th seed. Which I don't think is too bad.
I don't know. Better than Ginger, I'd say.
I feel like Ginger just, I don't know.
And H.
The point between sitting a tournament based on results in the past
Mm-hmm.
and sitting a tournament between who is
Who's gonna have
entered
to? Yes.
Thank you
and,
for bringing
and who is going to win the event.
So thank you for bringing that up. I do specifically feel like this event was at least partially seeded off of how much these people enter events.
Yeah, that's why Ginger's so high. Was
And
the
that's why
first
I
thing
think
I thought.
H-Box is so
And
high.
H box as well.
No, Ginger
H-Box does-
is good in general. I wouldn't
Totally,
say.
totally. But I'm saying, I think
Ginger's
they,
got some
I
fucking
think they
losses.
gave credit
No, but-
to where the losses, like this. If Ginger is actually 5, then that means that they appreciated the amount that Ginger has entered,
Which is
even,
awesome.
even though like the rare losses that come with that, as opposed to someone like I'd even say Wizzy or None, who might not enter as much as Ginger does.
I bet you if you were to do like a percentage on Ginger's like tournament wins versus his worst losses, that it works out insanely positive. I bet Ginger's worst loss is like incomparable to like all of his dubs.
I will agree with that.
Yeah,
Go team. Go team Ginger.
Chat brings up a great point. Gray Coat. I think they made their rankings before Four Loco. To be fair, which like yeah, that was immediately the thing that I was thinking of.
You know what I was gonna say?
It was J Move. Yeah,
I was gonna say something earlier. This is way back. I'm going back to merch, which is way back.
sure.
Some of the tournaments with the most character, like the Four Loco tournament,
Yeah.
and like even further back, nudes,
Maybe then.
whatever
Yeah.
like that.
Where,
Fuck yeah.
Where's the
They,
Yeah.
they should have. That's what I was gonna say. Where's the fucking merch?
Where's the
Because
merch?
I would buy like esports for Loco and nudes merch,
And
and
they did. They did. It's just that it wasn't through the Smash G shop.
Fuck. Okay, that makes
It was
sense.
that it was through the harder avenue to.
Okay, I never saw it.
Yeah, totally.
Because it was
And that's
advertisement.
not
How
your
could
fault.
you?
That's not your fault. Yeah. You had to be in the Smash G chat for top 8 and see Beast Coast have a meltdown against Twitch chat to know that they had sick merch. Totally, I totally understand what you're saying.
So, yeah.
I think the news point is a great
That
thing to bring
fucking
up.
tournament
Where it's
rules.
like, yeah, these tournaments have sick branding. Why aren't you selling merch around your sick
I'd be
branding?
all upon that. But anyway, back to
Easily
Ginger and
acceptable
whatever.
Totally, yeah.
I think it's great. It's a great group. I know Patty, you can probably also admire this the way I do, maybe even more. But I love seeing Kadoran on this list as an event organizer, as a great melee player, a great member of the community in general. It is so cool to see that Kadoran gets recognized and put and well deserved. Like no handout.
Yes.
A
I think
great player in California.
I think the coolest part is that an event like this has the option for someone like Kadoran to build a name off of their event. Like, I really do appreciate, don't want to give all the credit to Aiden again, but I think it very well could event this you know.
We love Aiden. We love Aiden.
The SCL format
We're an
reached
Aiden, we're Aiden fam here.
of a previous Aiden format that I've talked to him about, and I really do believe that this type of format is one of the most beneficial that could exist for creating narrative in Melee, the thing we talk about a lot. So yeah, I very much appreciate that that is happening, that is happening at the level that it is, and that it's actively creating narrative for us to talk about right now in terms of these players. So yeah, I think, although Division 1 and Division 2 might change from what it was previously announced as, I think that just creates more storylines in the Melee community. So fuck yeah, BTS Smash. Thank you for using your platform for cool shit.
It goes without saying that even if you don't like the way it's portrayed or which order it is, I think this group of players is very good. It's a very good group of talent, no matter what.
Everyone watches.
Dorito. Yeah,
So-
everyone's gonna watch this. It's gonna be
So
great.
I have to ask. Y'all. So we're kicking off this April with some great events, and this will be happening April 11th, I believe, is when it starts off. My phone.
You dropped your phone,
I
bud.
dropped it. So if there
Is that 1 week after our event?
yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Cool.
Yeah, exactly a week.
Cool.
We kick off the month of Melee. Maybe the last quote unquote casual event for the highly competitive players.
And I mean, I'll say a lot of
a
people,
great warm up.
a lot of people actively entered our event because of the
Time, right?
the Smash World Tour, because this will assumedly
It
count.
will count.
shit!
Everything
I didn't even
counts.
think of that.
Everything
That's
counts.
crazy.
Yeah, a lot of people actively entered this to make a name for the Smash World Tour. That's cool.
Thunder.
So my question is to y'all:
Yeah.
is that you have Zane, Mango, IBW, HBox, Ginger, the Falcons. Who of any of these do you think might fall to your Fox Empire? You got a
The Aklos of the world.
you got a Link, you got a Pikachu, you got a Peach. Anyone in tier 1 thinks it's gonna drop? First off, if anyone comes to mind, if
First
not, we'll move on.
Sure.
Mango, he's banned.
He's been forever. He's not gonna blow
Mango
up.
is banned until like the next day.
I'll say there's a chance Ginger drops. Pretty heavy, I think. There's a chance.
Who do you think? To who?
So, anybody in Division 2? Let me see.
If we're basing off of their real seeding, it'd be Sunsei.
Yeah.
Which I don't.
Boom. But like, if you're saying he's gonna play that, and
I think if he played Sunsei, it's a good draw for Ginger.
outside of D1, I think that Axe is gonna have a hard time. Axe has not been playing well.
So
recently,
in
huh?
the next question, D2. I mean, if LSD has a controller and you have 6 Foxes, I would assume
Mango
LSD
nuts.
is making their way
Yeah,
into
absolutely.
this bracket.
Yeah. Suddenly the D3, the people on the verge are making waves.
I think Wizrob's a
All
good
you have
pick,
to
yeah.
do is avoid Axe and possibly the Marth Ditto. But you have Peach and 6 Foxes? Like, that's not bad.
The cool thing about this entire lineup is that if you were to put the person in Division 2 to the person on top, and you were to just make those lineups directly, it's all sick. Like Zane versus Moki, Mango versus SFAT,
Mhm.
Axe versus IBDW, HBox soon. I could go down the whole list, but they're all sick matchups. And even if you were to fucking randomize both, those all create sick matchups.
Yeah.
So I think really at the end of the day, like we're gonna have some cool matchups. I think it's easier for us to just think that it's gonna go down, but because I think it was a similar format to the previous SEL. But yeah, I think the coolest part about it is that really no matter the outcome that we have, we're gonna have sick matchups. I could see someone like even one of the Falcons dropping early to one of the 6 Fox players who happen to be at the bottom half of that bracket.
If I'm guessing, of the 3, you know who I'm saying?
Who?
From what?
I'm saying none.
Yeah, there's a chance.
If Moki plays any of the Falcons, it's a chance.
I'm
Same with
saying
Wizard.
none.
He can beat
Oh,
any of the
no.
Falcons.
I'm liking Wizzy right now, and I'm loving SJ right now.
I have huge SJ stock right now, frankly, given
SJ stock
recent
is
events.
high.
High.
Totally.
Hold.
He is popping off.
Mm-hmm.
So I think none, and I think none does have, as Cricket is mentioning right here, is Peter Shoes. Speaking of which,
What's that?
before we jump into our last one or finish this up,
Mhm.
we need a code word, and this time we're going to create one single word that we're going to.
I don't want to be here.
What?
Never mind. Mike.
I'm sure it's fine. Don't
Sorry,
worry.
G's.
Sorry about that, everyone.
Well, because of that, Patty's banned from making a word. So, Michael, start us off.
Yeah, it's me, Michael.
How are we starting this word off? This phrase. Sorry, this phrase.
Baboon.
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 I'm gonna say baboon gun.
Baboon gun.
Baboon gun.
You got a baboon gun.
If you are in the chat, if you're in the YouTube VOD, and made it this far, please drop baboon
gun in the comments section.
Yes, we would love to hear from you.
Give me a baboon gun.
A baboon gun.
A gun
Come
that
on,
shoots
drop
baboons?
us a baboon gun. Thank you.
That's insane.
I love it.
I don't know how you did that.
Prove me with the gat.
That's
We love to
crazy.
give the gat.
Fuck it.
Yes,
Baboon gun.
thank y'all for it. And if you're in the live chat, thank you for tuning in.
What else? What's anything else? to
We
finish this?
mega appreciate it.
Q&A. Is that what we're doing?
No,
Oh, my bad. I lied to you.
there is a
Lie.
last
A
topic.
secret topic?
No, I have a topic.
Oh, well, there's gonna be like.
Do you have a topic?
I have a topic. Sorry about breaking
It's
the
okay.
mic.
You broke the
my-
mic and have a topic?
I have a topic.
No, it's not perfect.
Okay.
Do you have a code word?
So guys, yeah, I did. I got very pissed off
But what?
a couple days ago
Uh-huh.
About what?
because I was cucking a company who fired me.
For what? Wait.
Patty cooked who?
Nice. Good thumbnail.
So there was a problem with a European event, and
What's his name?
And essentially, the easiest way to say it is that Phoenix Blue, a European event, a part of the same circuit, had some big ol' Smash GG troubles, and which led to practically a Smash GG bug that halted the bracket of Phoenix Blue
Phoenix
2021.
Okay.
And I was mad about the amount of people who were shit talking Smash GG because I cut company who fired me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, the easiest way to say it is that I don't know, like, I just think it's a crazy idea. Yeah, I did get ratioed. I got ratioed.
Do you
so
really?
hard. Yeah. I tried to explain.
Yeesh.
I tried to explain why, bro, you can't just ask for 24-hour support to a fucking a startup company who has fucking 14 employees, and I got ratioed with they bought by Microsoft. Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, to be fair, Microsoft doesn't really have the best track record with supporting the companies that they've purchased in recent memory.
Like, I can't even argue
it.
with that type of thinking. I don't have anything to say. Yeah, ultimately, like, I don't know.
Where?
I guess it was really a realization for me is that I really do believe in this company, this random startup
That
company.
has been very helpful with everything.
Like, I really do believe, like, bro, I swear to God, if you actively have a problem with Smash GG, or if you want to try to shit talk Smash GG on Twitter, go run a challenge paid event entry and go see what the fuck that's like. You can go buy the fucking paid service that challenge offers that is worse than Smash GG that I did a full deep dive on when I worked for Smash GG. And you can go try that fucking platform that every TO organizer has actively been like, wow, that fucking sucks. Yeah, like, bro, like, it's so pathetic to shit talk the company who actively sticks their neck out for Melee more than anyone in the fucking world. Like, goddamn, if you have a problem with Smash GG, you can DM them on fucking Smash GG and tell them your problem, and they might fix it because they will actually actively consider these fucking people who use their platform. And if you just shit talk them on fucking Twitter, you're not going to get anywhere. So yeah, if you have a problem and you're from Europe with Smash GG and you're shit talking them on Twitter, I want you to know that you're doing fucking nothing to support the platform that is trying to support you. But if you just fucking DM'd them, you would actively be helping the platform. So yeah, I got fucking pissed off on 10 a.m. Monday morning when I had to do a bunch of fucking work for the event that I care about a lot, and to see a bunch of people shit talking a platform who fired me, who literally fired me, and I still believe in their vision. Yeah, I just got pissed off.
Someone should clip that and then post it somewhere.
PJ, Smash G can also show CMX and names. It's a checkbox. It's not.
Yeah, fun fact. That's a setting that Smash G people check and don't have because people like you bitch about it, and that's fucking the worst thing ever. So we just
kind of a lose your moves.
Nice, thank you.
It's very real, that option. They just don't do it because you complain about it.
Yeah, that's literally why.
And PJ, me too. I don't want to,
Hey, nobody complains about Smash G more than I think Patty complains about.
Yeah,
Smash G.
that's the craziest part. Is that I complain about Smash G so much, and I know how to complain to them to actively change things. There was multiple things that we ran in this event where I just where I emailed them and was like, hey, this sucks. I would love this to be changed. And they were like actively like, yeah, you're totally right. Thank you for the suggestion. I'm going to pass this on to the dev support. Yeah, that's so much better than being like, hey, you guys fucking suck. I hate you.
No critique is like, I don't like it. It's like, why don't you fucking like it, you weirdo?
Why? Yeah. Why? Explain.
Shut the fuck up, moron.
Use words.
Please. Nothing's ever gonna get better unless you give examples. Whatever. People suck. I'm sorry, Patty.
PJ, the thing you're complaining about, fun fact, I accidentally enabled for a Halo event for DreamHack, and then everyone who was a part of the DreamHack Teams event, bitch shit me endlessly of that I enabled that. So I hit it, and then they were all like, "Well, this bracket's so cool. Thank you for running this." So yeah, that's why you should never fucking enable people to see seating, because people like you will just complain about your seating.
People like you, PJ.
I love you, PJ. You're still my favorite.
So yeah, I say all that to say I believe in the Smash G vision, and you can actively change the Smash G vision if you just reach out to them in their active fucking Smash G support chat, and you can change the vision.
And
like,
also,
you can
when you go in there and you make your complaint, I would just emphasize you go in with an open mind. I would say you go in and say, hey, I don't like this. Why is it like this? Not how do you change whatever. Just like, hey, why is it like this? So they can say, oh, well, it's like this because they can give you some reasons. They say, oh, well, we've got this feedback and this feedback and this feedback. And you can go, okay, maybe I got that. Maybe I don't get that. Like, it's all very intentional, is what I'm trying to get at.
absolutely.
Strategy has been around for a while. It is not perfect. But
yes.
But all the reasons why they do stuff is very particular.
Intentional. Absolutely.
Very intentional. Yeah, exactly. That's the exact word. It's very intentional what they do, how they do things, and they won't change it unless they get feedback. So they will, as Patty said, listen to feedback. So
yeah,
just let them know. And
the worst part is like,
you know,
like the easiest way to say it is that me yelling at people who are yelling at something probably won't change anything either. So that was the realization for me, where I was like, okay, yeah, I have to take this L, get ratioed, and move on with my life and focus on the event that I'm working on Smash G for, that is actively benefiting us.
I have not been...
PJ, you're totally right. See, active criticism. Good criticism. Yeah, finding brackets in Smash G, hard as hell.
It is hard.
Yeah.
It is.
I'll admit it.
Totally.
And I would say, Patty, in this world, getting ratioed is the hardest thing you can have happen to you. In ratioed, it's brutal. It's rough.
It's happened to everyone.
I loved your recent tweet, Mike. We're like, yeah, my mustache.
To be fair, I didn't get ratioed.
Really, you didn't get ratioed, but you got so many people.
A lot of people that I know being like,
You should have deleted it.
no, because
You should have deleted it.
I mean, it's not a bad look because I know that I wasn't doing that.
No, I know, but you were
we
just
didn't
dumb.
say that. The tweet didn't say that.
That's fair. I don't give a shit though.
Mike, for those who don't know, Mike tweeted something that's like, "Oh, my mustache pulling."
But I turned heads at the Stop and Shop red aisle or whatever the fuck, and everyone's like, "Mike, why aren't you wearing a mask?" at Stop and Shop?"
Yeah, that's a great point. And you're like, "I'm a poet."
That was funny.
It was theoretical. It's like, what do you mean theoretical?
I think it makes it lamer.
Yeah, it is so much
I think it's
lamer.
hilarious. So it's fair.
Yeah, there you go.
If people were stopping,
No,
one
he
thing.
thinks it's funny though.
That's all that matters.
I think that's all that matters to me. So it doesn't matter.
He thinks it's funny. It's all.
I think it's lame.
The truth is that it didn't.
But
Yes, that's
And
fair.
someone,
funny.
Yes.
and someone with facial hair that does turn heads, it was offensive to me. To be like, yes, they're only seeing my like 2 fucking centimeters of hair.
Well, I've never seen you in the Stop and Shop bread aisle, Ryan,
The
which I
part-
guess is the difference between
the
me
part
and
that I thought was the funniest was your mustache.
you. That's why it's hilarious. It's because I have a shitty mustache.
It is.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's funny.
Michael, it's getting there.
Someday.
And when it's there, Mike, you will be the greatest
You finished it.
Frenchman I've ever
What?
seen.
No, I faded everything
No,
off.
he
I'm not
hasn't.
shaving my mustache. Until the end
Yeah.
of time, I will keep this mustache
No, Michael, you gotta shave it again.
for it to come back stronger,
Uh-huh.
like a Zenkai boost. in
like-
Dragon Ball.
like-
I feel embarrassed because never mind.
That's
I
fine.
know.
The joke is that I have a shitty mustache.
Can you go
and I'm willing-
close?
Patty,
Yeah, I'll go close.
Patty,
I
look.
have a whole video about this.
Patty, let's face it.
Yeah,
You got facial hair very early.
I did. I did.
I got facial hair.
Ooh, a little bit.
to those audio listeners, it sucks.
That's a bad mustache. That's the
pretty
best.
good.
That's the best part about it.
It's pretty good. Pretty good.
It's
pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Listen. As soon as Mike can grow it completely, the meat to the mic
gonna
look
great.
our stash house, and it's
That's true.
very good.
Michael, no.
You're gonna be the stash house. Yeah. I'll be
Stash
the-
house?
It's called having
I'll be
humility,
the weird,
which a lot of
weird
people
man.
don't have, unfortunately.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
What do you mean? You
It's
just have a nice
bummer.
face. Your face is nice.
I look so weird with a mustache.
I've never seen you with just a mustache.
Patty, I'm sure you look ridiculous.
I could probably find a photo. I look so weird.
Yeah. A lot of people need to joke about what the things that they
I
give a
like
shit
your
about. You know what I'm
full-
saying?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Your full beard.
I'm too beardy right now.
It's very my case. Very cool. Very.
Yeah, maybe I'll dab my
But anyhow,
Pink?
do you want? No, you're gonna look like Markiplier,
Pink?
like chunky Markiplier.
that is good. I'm a joke. All right, last topic. I didn't.
Does it work?
I didn't get the settings right, so we
Wait, I thought we were.
we won't.
Was there only 3? I thought we did all
Yeah,
3
all
already.
three.
Yeah,
No, we only did
we're
two.
on number 3.
We stalled. I
have to
I
find
made
I have
a
to find
topic.
it.
Nope.
I think we did all 3.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't, Michael.
No, we didn't.
You listened to the other topic, Mike.
Yep. New tier list.
New.
Oh, my bad.
Okay, so PTAS has been putting in work.
And Ruby.
Yes, absolutely. Ryubi I honestly started it, but I think it was kind of owned from PTAS from that point out during
Yes,
the
sir.
inception.
Hold on. Pause. Jenny Mitch. Something being very my case is Zus.
I like Zus.
I will kill you.
Zus? I like Zus. I like Zus.
I do not like Zus.
Big
All
fan
right,
of Zus.
Carry on.
the S on the keyboard. I like
you
Zus.
missed it. Yeah,
You
it's
created
crazy.
the word.
It's
Good job.
crazy you missed it twice, dude. That's
Good job.
crazy.
Good job. So Ryobeat was like, hey, we haven't had a fucking tier list since 2015. And then
Yeah.
PTAS was like, you're right. We haven't had a tier list since 2015.
No, it's been 6 years.
Yes. Oh my god, your jacket's the same color as the mic. Anyway, so
Oh wow, blend
yeah,
in.
that's cool.
You know?
Not matching. Wow.
So PTAS went ahead and messaged every single top player, to which no top players responded.
In top 100.
Top 100. No top 100 responded, to which PTAS was like, hey, top 100, can you please respond? And then top 100 slowly responded.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually, we got to the point where we are now.
64 players responded from the top 100.
64.
A majority.
A much less number than what it was previously at. I think it was at like 35. And PTAS was like, please help. I need your help. Yeah, it was at a number which was not 60.
Just,
whatever.
hey, players who play this game hours on hours a day, can you give me your opinion?
Yes.
Like it's not, and anyone who's ever run anything in Melee can verify this. Like, we just want them to be there. We just want the top players to do something. Hey, Michael, sidebar. Can you pass me the gat and a glass?
But you can just do this because it's just.
I just want a glass.
Alrighty.
I'm a classy bitch.
Sure,
But
man.
you were saying, Patty.
Yeah, I think the part of it is that initially it was so little, and that they got 64. I see even the chat being like and saying that they only got 64. But I mean, hey, that's kind of natural for what 40% of our top players being active in the top 100. So I think it makes sense for the amount that they got. I was honestly surprised that they even got that many. Just because, yeah, it's a 2019 MGPR, right? It's not a 2021 MGPR. We're like these players have been.
It kind of is, Patty. You know why that is?
No, I don't.
Do you know the assumption that was made during this tier list?
I don't.
There was one huge assumption that I got wrong in my personal tier list, which was that in prior to this being made, when this was being serviced, ices could wobble.
Yes.
That is the major distinction.
Oh, is that true?
in this tier. Yeah, it is.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
This tier list is a wobbling ices tier list.
That makes sense.
Which is still kind of crazy.
That means I won an argument I thought I lost. Go, Michael.
But I do want to please continue. I just want to point that out. That yes, this is a pre-wobble ban and also a pre Zane Roy is I think the two kind of maybe the biggest kind of examples of like huge changes.
For those who aren't actively checking back to the tier list, ices are above
Yoshi and Pikachu.
Yeah, Pikachu in the tier list currently.
Yes, sir.
In a not moved spot. Meanwhile, Pikachu has moved up one spot, I believe. Yeah. Ices are above Pikachu and Yoshi's and Samus, which is weird. At least a little bit.
Are we talking about the tier list now? Like,
Yeah, I think we talk about ices specifically.
Hey, it's a good tier list. Really good job. Hey, Mario's too high though. That's I think the thing that stood out. To me
Yeah,
most.
that is the weird
What
part.
the fuck is with Mario doing up there? Am I crazy?
That might be from the Mango Mario.
I doubt it, dude. I don't know. I think some weirdos were just like Mario's real good or something. That blew my mind.
Link is now at a similar tier list where Young Link was, which is never previously before. Yeah, I don't know. What's the weirdest part about Ices being above Pikachu right now?
It's that the Pikachu player is the obvious thing is that the Pikachu player has the higher peak than the Isis player does in the current.
Yeah, what Ices player? Essentially,
That's what I'm saying.
Slug?
Slug? Literally Slug. That's it. Who else is playing right now? Is Chuda entering things?
No.
No. Who the fuck else? Wobbles doesn't.
Yeah.
Where's
Bananas? No.
Bananas? No. What's the? He had a song.
Army? No.
Army? No. Thank you.
Moth? Yes.
Sweet. Good. Yeah. No. Ices aren't. They're doing nothing right now. Unfortunately, there's a very low Ices representation in the current.
Slug is dope, but the fact that Slug is the best Ices right now is definitely
It tells a lot about where the character is at the moment.
The unranked players are putting more, movement in than the ranked ones are.
And yeah, frankly, if this wasn't the case, what Ryan was talking about, I think obviously Pikachu and Yoshi would be higher than Ice Climbers. But also then you get to the argument where it's like, hey, if only one person is good at these characters, does that represent a place on the tier list?
I think there's also the part where it's like Pikachu player probably only focuses on that part of this tier list, is that Ice Climbers are above Pikachu.
Like,
as
what?
opposed to the the entire top 4 or top 5 being different than what they previously were.
I think it's a great tier list. I do. I wonder why. I wonder why Bowser and Kirby got switched, even though nobody gives a shit. That's like a thing I want to talk about. I feel like Bowser is better than Kirby.
No,
you really not think so?
No.
Zelda went down.
Patty? No.
You really think so?
No. You know what? Mike?
Hit me. Are you talking? Is it Bowser?
So I should preface. I am the tier lists do not matter. First and foremost.
You're a fan of better player wins?
Better player wins.
Oh, I love better player wins.
Better player
does
wins.
win.
I love better
I
player
agree with
wins.
that.
Oh,
I have played many systems of Melee, many furnaces of Melee, and I can tell you for sure that unless it is the top level, and even then, the better player wins. In my opinion. Now, something you might hear is that characters have like cheese. You know, characters can do certain things, and something that the Spaceys fast followers might try to convince you is that they don't have any cheese. This is incredibly wrong. Fox has the biggest cheese in the game. Falco has the easiest combo game in the game. Falcon is literally brain dead. Like, these characters are not fucking as honest as people might say. Like,
yes, I'll at the very least give you that, for sure.
The honest is not there. Now, is Falcon more honest than a character of 5 jumps? Yes. I will. Let's
I like that you bring
keep
that
it
up.
a
Yes,
bill.
sure.
Let's keep it a bill. That's the way it's gonna be.
Yeah, no melee characters are honest.
No, everyone.
I like that.
It's his opinion. My brother shares with me is that every melee character has a very has like a cheese part of their game plan that like is very specific to them. Now, Mike, when you bring up Kirby over Bowser,
Okay, let's see it.
I think Bowser is the worst character in the game.
Cool.
That is my opinion. I'm glad to see it reflected in this tier list.
I'm cool with you saying that.
You know why, Mike?
What's that?
Bowser can't edgeguard and Kirby can. And that is the sole factor of why Kirby is just better than Bowser.
Hey, you convinced me just there.
Bowser has no off-stage game. Bowser is clearly the worst character in the game, with slowest speed, the worst moves, has no off-stage game.
Where am I, Kirby?
At least Kirby has
Kirby?
your Kirby blows Patty. Don't even. Sidebar.
I was thinking.
Patty was coming over here like weeks
You don't
ago,
have to talk about this.
maybe a month ago, bringing his slippy Kirby into our house, saying, "Ryan, play Falco. Let's play some."
It was tight.
No, it was not.
It was tight.
What's tight to you? Tell him to find tight.
You barely two-stocked me a couple times.
I barely do stuff.
When does Kirby suck that?
Your Kirby
Meanwhile-
blows
Talk about it.
you.
Don't say it.
Meanwhile, I'm taking tests off of someone else in the house.
Bro, I don't play Melee. I'm not a Melee player.
I'm not a Falco player.
I'm a Melee content creator.
Anyway,
That's it. I don't play this game.
I'm going last stop with the Sheik player.
Patty.
Playing Kirby.
Patty, your Kirby goes last talk of Ted. I listen to you. I don't play Falco, bro.
Oh, you do play Falco though.
I do, but Falco is not my best character. Gun to my head.
Yo, we have Puff as your better.
My Falco ain't dying.
I
My
agree.
Falco ain't doing it.
Good.
But
Anyway, tier list.
this tier list I think
10th, 11th
is
character.
really good.
That's fair.
My personal, so I am and you'll see it in the bender coming up, because I had a segment where I ordered the characters based on where I thought they were, and I didn't have to do that. I could have picked a Mango tier list, a Zane tier list, whatever, but I personally decided to go through the characters myself and kind of like organize what I wanted them to. It was a thing I was doing, so you'll see that soon. Are all the opinions concrete? No.
No. Fuck Mario.
No, I think I put Game Watch maybe a little too high because of my my knowledge of Glock, and
We do have
Exactly.
personal experience with good games.
I think everyone's bias.
Everyone,
It's the easiest
duh.
way to
That's
say
what
it.
being a
no,
human
it's
is.
Everyone's
biased.
biased.
And actually, sidebar in this, I want to ask y'all. So, I think you look at this tier list, right? And I should list down for the audience, as everyone knows. Melee's game of 26 characters, in the S tier to this new 2021 tier list, which just flat out, let's realize
Mm-hmm.
Michael,
Yeah, what's me?
if you Google Melee 2021 best characters, right?
Does it actually come up? First off.
Yes! I have no idea. But like, if you were to Google Melee 2021 tier list, Melee tier list,
Yes.
let's say you are being beat by your friend, you Google Melee,
Dang, I need to
you
play a better
Google
character.
Melee tier list,
Yeah.
you see the Wikipedia page, you scroll all the way down to the most recent page,
Uh-huh.
and you see a 2021 list.
Mhm.
You know what that says to me?
People.
That says, wow, this is an active community.
There you go. I agree.
This is a and that's the thing I think people most underrate about this tier list is the fact that
People are still
if
playing.
I had gone a year ago and see what the last tier list was made in 2015,
Yeesh.
I would say, okay, you know, I guess not what's going on.
Good point.
2021, oh my god, people are still making decisions. Like there's meta. There's meta involved. Oh my
Top
god.
below Falco.
Yeah, right? Like
We
why?
haven't talked about that, but
Why
yeah.
is Falco dropping? Yeah, all
Yeah,
this stuff.
Like,
all
like
this
there's
stuff.
active
Falco's
stuff that
A
is
tier.
happening. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool, and I think to any newer players, it's really encouraging to know that like things are still not set in stone. You know?
Yeah, I never thought about that perspective. Honestly, that someone who's looking up the tier list of Melee. Yeah, we'll see the 2021 tier list,
Maybe
and we'll know that Melee is still being played.
Patty, think about any game you might have just curiously, not even competitively, but just looked up like who's the best character in this game. Like that means a lot.
I feel like that is more relevant with Melee than some other games.
No, I think fighting games, Mike. Maybe you can
Yeah,
echo
yeah,
this.
you're probably-
But
yeah.
like, if I get into a new fighting game, maybe I won't pick based off the highest tier, but I will look at the tier list and go, okay, that guy's ass. Maybe I like someone who's more like higher up.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you
Hey,
experience that,
in the
I'm like,
last week or so, I don't know. I've looked up like, okay, there's a fighting game I'm relatively interested in. Let's see what's good in this. Or even if
Well,
I'm watching it, I
well,
want to know
which
character is
one,
good.
Mike? If you have an example.
Let me think. Okay, KOF 14.
Mhm.
That's one right off the top of my head. Who the fuck is good in that game? I don't fucking know. I'm gonna look it up because I'm about to watch an event that has those characters in them.
Yeah. What's
Yeah, they're
the
about to release 50.
who's the underdog? Who's who? What's going on?
Exactly. Like I want to know if it's very fun. Something I do a lot for is Marvel because that's a tier
Yeah.
list that was like
Marvel 2,
2
3?
or 3. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
At this point, 2, everyone knows the best characters in 2. Although Justin Wong would argue. But even 3, there's even there's a bracket. There's a tournament style where you get points and you get to pick your characters based on the points you're allotted and stuff like that.
Like an allowance.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
And that rules for team.
That's cool,
yeah, that's all based off the tier list.
You're like, dude, I need Storm my team.
So it's like,
But like, I guess I gotta pick fucking like Thanos
or
to
something
like
like that.
round it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
No, that's
Good
cool.
point.
So
Tiers are cool.
anyway, tiers are tight and they are like very effective in like getting people into the scene.
Captain Pando sucks. He's a good assist though.
Now, and especially 5 years ago, you know, 2015 was
Yeah.
now like that.
I think that's the biggest argument.
5
for it,
years
to be
is so cool. I'm so glad we have a ranking, and in a way that the people putting this on, PTAS and Arabian have mentioned, is like this is actually like the best sample size.
Because it's all fucking top
Like,
100
like,
players.
it's before
Give
it was like half the amount of players in top 30 in top like 32
Mhm.
That's what I
doing
was gonna
this.
bring up.
So like the fact that it's top 64 doing this, even if it's scattered, you may not get the mango answer or whatever, but like the average of those is like a pretty good baseline, essentially.
The thing I was gonna bring up is that 2015 was the closest to doing a Melee Dami PR as it had ever been, and that was still like a new thing at that point.
Mhm.
Like it was hard to get. I don't know the exact numbers, but I know that it was hard to get a similar amount of top players to fill out a form. So the fact that they got 64 was like accomplishment. I saw people even be like, there should be more. Why is it only 64? But yeah, that number was definitely one of the highest it has been for a tier list.
So I want to point out a couple of big changes that I saw. I thought this list was phenomenal.
It's pretty good. I
And,
like it.
and to go through it all for the people watching, I just want to list the top tiers.
Top to bottom.
In S, we have Fox, Marth, Puff,
Cut it off.
Falco. In A, we have Chic, Falcon, Peach.
It's pretty good.
B plus, Wobbling Ices, Pikachu, Yoshi, Samus. In B minus, we have Luigi, Dr. Mario. C plus, Ganon, Mario. C minus, DK, Young Link, Link, Game & Watch. D, we have Mewtwo, Roy, Pichu, Ness, Zelda.
This was
And
positive.
F tier,
Yeah,
we have Kirby, Bowser.
I think the D tier, I don't know how they did it. D tier is like perfect. Isn't that crazy? I think it's perfect.
Let's dive into that. D tier, perfect. D tier is,
I wouldn't change anything.
And-
about it.
Zelda should be F tier.
and I should specify that there recently has been a kind of a push for the low tier mains to make their own tier list among low tiers.
Ooh, okay. That's pretty
And and not just low tiers, also among high tiers. I agree. So let's back up. People in the top 100 are players who play the top characters. We agree on this.
cool. Yes.
They are players who primarily play your S and A, maybe B tier characters.
Possibly.
B plus.
Even
T
B is
characters.
rare these days.
You know?
Yeah.
They do. And their opinion on low tiers really, in my opinion, don't matter. Cause to them, as a Fox, as a Marv, as a Puff, as a Falco, as a Sheik, as a Falcon, as a Peach, specifically those 7, I would say, don't really matter. Like how good a Roy is, a Ness, a Zelda, a Pichu.
Yeah.
Like it's a different ball game.
I understand.
They're playing a game with a stacked deck. Like they're good. And I think that the low tier players should have kind of a grasp on what the low tier bracket should be. What do you think about that? I've held low tier brackets, and I love low tier brackets. I think they are cool. I think there's an interesting meta in the low tier brackets. Who do you think should be the top of the low tier, or what do you think about it?
I think if you're ranking low tiers, it should not be on the meta of a low tier bracket, but the meta of low tiers versus high tiers.
I agree with that.
I agree.
Low tiers, because I know that was a conversation as to whether we rank this on how the low tiers do versus each other, or how the low tiers do versus the entirety of the cast.
But
And
I think
do
it's dual sided though. I think it's like dual sided that you can't be like a Zelda can't. I
think it's different tier lists. Like I really do think it's different tier lists as to how Zelda would do against the mid tiers as opposed to how Zelda does against Falco Fox.
And I'm with that, Patty. But so I think the argument that the low tier like mains and kind of encouragers they're making here is that the high tiers don't know. It's not so much that the Zelda DK matchup is like in favor of Zelda, so much as that it's that the people voting on this don't understand that matchup. So how can they say that so and so is higher?
But what I'm saying is that the Zelda player knows the Fox matchup infinitely more than the Fox player knows the Zelda matchup. It's just that the Zelda player loses more.
Yes. No,
Do you know what I mean?
I'm
the Zelda player still understands the reason that they lose more than even than them losing to the Fox player. Just because the Fox player has fundamentals good options, good kill, and
No, I'm-
yada 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 yada.
Pat,
things.
I'm with you there. I just think that
What I'm saying is that I think that has to be relevant. Is that because the Zelda player knows how much they get fucked up by the Fox player. I just think that also has to be relevant in the tier list that comes from just the Zelda players. Like, because every NES main knows that this character is worse than this character. And I just think that that type of thinking should be reflected in the thing. Like, if you have a 80-20 matchup with Peach, then I think that should be reflected in how your character is on the tier list. You know what I mean?
No, I get you. So I think the idea for this this kind of structure is that the top tiers don't understand the low tier matchups. It's kind of the idea,
Totally.
right?
I agree. Yeah.
Like how can Mango know what the Ness Roy matchup is like? You know, only a Ness Roy main would be able to tell us what that's like. And right, and it's so minor. It's so simple.
I think it'd be cool if it happens. If it doesn't, it's just like, oh yeah, that was a cool idea that we had.
Well,
Nobody gives a shit.
Peter is asking. I personally, I would love a comprehensive like tier list throughout the characters.
Yeah, totally.
I personally, yeah, I see this tier list, right? And I see that Zelda is at bottom of D, the third worst character in the game. And I think in the low tier matchup, Zelda is fairly okay.
I honestly think she should be where Kirby is above Kirby in F, because she has 2 moves. I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah, but those
okay.
two
I was
moves.
talking about
Pat,
that.
this
No, I
sucks.
know, but like Ness has those 2 moves and better.
That's
like,
why
you
he's
know-
above them.
Mm.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I think he should be a
Yeah.
tier above
Oh,
I think Zelda's fine where she is. I just think that she
that's why.
personally should be an F.
That's why Patty. Any tier list worth its salt takes into account. It's a tier list made.
Brentos, let's do it. Okay, I know you've been talking shit about your fucking Zelda in this chat. Let's have a Zelda money match. I'm notoriously awful at Zelda Dittos, but I will.
Zelda is so easy to play.
No, trust
It-
me.
it
my
is
my
so
neutral
insane.
B conversions are insane.
Zelda is
Do not
so
believe.
it's so easy.
Anyway,
All right,
My Zelda
Here's-
both don't
Are we-
even.
here's
let's
the
just end it.
fucking
Yes,
deal.
let's end it.
let's end it.
Here's the
Where we
fucking
at,
deal.
Ryan?
Let's end it.
Brentos knows. We're gonna do the same thing the entire money match.
The thing is that I saw this tier list.
Mhm.
I saw the top
Yeah.
characters, and guess what? Everyone said at once, all together.
Smiley face.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a good
like you see Fox, Mars, Puff, Falco. Okay,
Sure.
like you could argue Falco over Puff, maybe.
I love that it wasn't like it wasn't a hot take of the tier list.
No,
No,
I honestly love that.
it's
most
very
of all.
clear. You see in the next tier below, Fox, Mars, Puff, Falco. You see Sheik, Falcon, Peach. That makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, what's up?
It's kind of weird. to
Sure.
see
Before we end
that,
this, so Zane,
Wobbling enabled. I re-mentioned.
okay, right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
Mark
Who's the second best Marth player?
LSD?
Who's the third best Marth player?
Rishi.
Who's the fourth best Marth player?
I just spoiled something. Kadoran.
Sure. Whatever. I don't know.
We couldn't get one of those players.
What are you
What am I getting at? Isn't it weird that Marth is so high?
Yeah, no, totally.
Do you know what I'm- you know what I'm about to
I had
get
the same,
I don't think so.
I had the same feeling.
I-
Totally.
I think Marth is the best character in the game, but this is a weird Michael opinion. Marth is really high, even though there's the Marth player, right? I think Zane is the Marth
Yeah.
player.
Yeah, but Xbox was the Puff player, and
But I'm-
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying.
that was way more exaggerated than Marth player.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But then lower than that, there's Axe and Amsa with
Yeah.
Pikachu and
More
Yoshi,
B
you know what I'm
plus,
saying?
The huge gap.
a whole tier lower.
the huge gap
The
between.
isn't that weird that there's the representation is not the same? I will say it's not the same, Well, even
Well,
with
well
H,
name,
like, Puff being
name
that
the
high.
next best Pikachu Yoshi players.
But I think the part that I agree with Mike on a lot is that
please help me.
is that it really felt like it's based off the tier list or off the placements of these players, like especially
Rather than the amount of players who play these
like
characters.
I don't want to say that at all because like I really do believe that people honestly rank Jigglypuff here. But like in the same way of like Marth doing well, Marth go up in the tier list. Puff doing bad, Puff go down in the tier list. Like strictly because of the players who specifically play. Like, I did have a feeling of that, like being like, oh, is Zane the only Marth player doing this well?
Like this well, like
So-
he's doing
to
great.
improve
But
the
he's
thing-
not.
Great.
But he's not. LSD and Kadoran are also doing phenomenal.
Not
and,
that level.
And
Like we all
I agree with him.
no, but still, I would say that they're still getting big wins off it. They're
But like poning Mango in a bracket like has a feeling to it.
well, but you are.
So why isn't Falco that high?
You are making an equivalent exchange between Falco and Mango.
Well, poning H-Box in a bracket, poning
So
That's the
here's what I ask you, Patty.
yeah.
Could Kadoran, could Zane, could LSD beat Ginger?
Well, I think
Oh, answer that.
different question. If H-Box was number 1 in the world, how different would this tier list be?
It would be different. It
It'd be
would be
so
different.
different.
It would be
It
different.
would be different, but Patty, what I'm saying here is that I think all those Marth players could beat H-Box in reasonable sets.
But the difference is they could all be not top 100, and I don't think the tier list would change. In the same way as like any Puff player.
I don't think they aren't top 100. I think they're certainly
No, but I'm saying in the same way, like any Puff player could not be top 100, and I legitimately don't think like it would change that much. I think strictly the tier list is based off of the top player who's currently representing the character,
I don't
which I think is
so.
fine.
Let's go to Puff then. H-Box and then Toussaint?
Let's go. To,
No, that is such an ignorant opinion.
Then what?
Are you talking about Golden?
yeah,
Are you talking
like,
about Dawson?
But
Are
right
you
now, but that's
talking
not how
about-
the tier list was made,
both those
right?
players wouldn't be top 100. Like if we,
100?
yeah, they wouldn't
They
be.
would be.
No, they wouldn't.
They would certainly be top 100.
No, they
Arguably,
wouldn't.
but like
They're
high.
both-
Well,
Both their best wins is H-Box.
Patty, what I'm not saying is what is specifically deserved. I'm saying like in the list, they're making the name.
I
They're
legitimately
there,
think
huge names.
players like players
They're
like
huge names, Patty.
I they don't nearly have the same wins that like
Especially from when the tier
that,
list
like
was made.
Kadoran has, that like the other players that we were comparing them against have, like not at all. Like they have the H-Box win. Meanwhile, Kadoran's a great argument for why Mars been making moves. But I do legitimately believe that if we had all these players gone and that we just had Zane and we just had H-Box, we'd have a very similar tier list, which I think is fine. Like I don't think that actually hurts that much.
It's
that we're
interesting.
that we're basing that much off of the top players like representation in the current meta. But I do think it's at least relevant to acknowledge that I think it's there. I don't know
Sure,
how much
sure,
it's there,
sure.
but I think if we deleted Zane from the history, I think legitimately this tier list would change. If we deleted H-Box, from the current history,
I'm Patty. I think that whole that line of thinking is stupid. If I'm being honest with you, you're saying if you delete the best player of that character, like that would be a huge deal. Like you delete Ken in 2008. Like Marth is the best player. Like who's the best Marth player other than Ken?
but that's not
Like,
representative of what a tier list is. That's not what a tier list is.
A tier list
That's
is
what-
how viable the
that's
current
what the-
character is in the meta. That's a tier list.
sure.
By, like, definition.
So what is Puff in 2009?
I don't even know if I agree with that.
Is Puff
I mean, that's
the
what
best,
the tier
is
list-
Puff
I
the
mean,
best
I guess
character in the game? Is it 2009?
I guess I just view tier lists as the best characters in the game. It's the endless argument of is this a theoretical tier list or is this a practical tier list?
I do not think it's theoretical. I will say that.
Yeah, I totally.
I will say in a theoretical sense, I still believe personally, if this is not, this is a strictly my opinion thing, but the Spaceys are the best characters in the game. That is, I think Frame 1 Shine,
It's good.
if it sends you sideways or up, are still fucking phenomenal. I think Rest as a Frame 1 option is still amazing. And I think Marth is a fourth in that kind of
It's the
subsection.
best form.
Personally, I might say that it's like Fox, Falco, Puff, Marth. If I was making the list. As far as frame one options go.
I think the craziest part about everything is that I just brought up something that was never even at all laid out in a tier list. I think it's the same thing where it's the same critique that people have with the Melee Dami PR. It's that people aren't given a strict criteria to judge off of.
Yes.
They are only given their own personal judgment and own
But
personal
they're the best
to
players in the
include-
game.
to include into the thing.
They literally have the most results.
But they've never been given a like, this is what you should be ranking off of. And the entirety of Melee Adami and the entirety of tier lists, like, we've never strictly been like, this is what you should be ranking off of. Even still, like directly for the Melee Adami PR, it's been like, hey, you should be ranking off of this year's results, as opposed to there are countless times where our entire Melee Adami PR is based on how people view these players in the years of results that they've put in previously.
Well, let me do the PJ. Based on your argument, because if a frame one move is kind of sus, PJ, I just want to tell you that if the frame one option is really fucking good, like
I
it's.
think you also brought up multiple
it's-
frame one options.
Like
You brought up Shine. You brought up Rest,
I'm talking about the Fox Shine.
yeah.
Which is literally the best angle in the game to kill someone. It's down below you. I'm talking about the Falco Shine, which literally is the best combo tool in the game. Sends you up, like it is. Falco Shine is so perfect, and Rest is insta kill. I don't think I'm perfectly right. I'm just saying that the argument of a frame one move should be considered in a listing of moves.
I'm gonna parrot Say Jam, and I'm gonna say that tier lists are fucking stupid, but what's cool about them is that they make people talk about something that everyone cares about, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you
absolutely.
Boo.
Yeah, totally.
But anyway, based on the list, I just wanted to point out that I really like this list. I think this community list is very solid.
It's cool. I like it. I agree with a lot of it.
Based on my own personal biases, the only two characters that I really have a issue with are Ices, who were wobbling
time.
Ices.
Yep.
And Mewtwo. Mewtwo is also a character that I didn't really agree with.
You think he's too low?
Mewtwo's at the top of a D tier above Roy, Pichu, Ness, Zelda, Kirby, and Bowser.
Uh-huh.
Not a huge deal. I just don't think Mewtwo is that high up. Personally, in my list, and I do like this list in general, but the main changes in my list were that I like DK over Mario. I think Mario is over exaggerated
Absolutely. I think
based on how fast he moves, having a wall jump, and having one kill move, or two kill moves, being F smash and down smash. Mario's bad. I think DK is better. Another disagreement I have is Game Watch over Link. I think Game Watch is fair. It literally makes the character. I don't think Link is a big deal. Mewtwo
Okay, don't worry.
is Mewtwo is seventh worst over my fifth worst. I think Mewtwo is much worse than what they're giving credit to him.
Who would you put? Wait. Where's Mewtwo? Who's he right below?
Mewtwo
Above Roy.
Mewtwo right now is above Roy, Pichu, Ness, and Zelda.
But who's he below?
And who's he below?
Like, who's the one who's right below?
Mewtwo's below Game & Watch and Link.
I think he's perfect. That's like the perfect spot for me there.
I don't think it's like egregiously bad. I'm just saying that I think Mewtwo does not have the same kill options that
Like Roy.
Roy and Pichu have,
Sure.
personally.
Roy is like the only character on the tier list who has been all over the tier list. Roy's
Yeah,
been
I saw, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Roy's
Roy's been
everywhere.
mid tier. Roy's been F tier. Roy's been D tier now. Roy's been, I don't know if higher than mid tier, but I know it was like heavily considered. I think there was a point where Roy was above Pikachu and shit.
Mm.
Yeah, it was definitely the point where I was like, fucking Roy can just go anywhere. I think that was a little bit of my my character bias thing. Was like, oh yeah, we're just ranking characters based on how they do. Which I think that could be
Which
even more extended if Roy was like above Mewtwo,
Yeah.
above in the next tier, you
Yeah.
know, which could have been possible if the tier list was made 2 months later.
But lastly, I just think that Ness is worse than Zelda.
I like Ness. Go Team Ness.
I think Ness's double jump really
Ness-
negates it.
Wait, we're on Zelda.
Maybe, I don't know.
We gotta cap this off.
I'm just saying
Yeah, we've been
personally,
so long.
it's
Really, Brentos? You think that?
I think so.
You played Zelda? And you think
I'm
that?
with you. I'm with you.
Ness is a kill throw.
I mean,
No,
hey,
but-
he has opinion here.
Zelda has killed.
Zelda's a kill throw.
Zelda has killed aerials.
That's your
Zelda's a
her
kill throw,
aerial
but doesn't have a
two.
throw.
Yeah, I don't know. I have when they were posting about making a low tier kill list, I really wanted to like flex Allston Melee and be like, give me a ballot. I wanted to say something, but I knew it wasn't made for me. For us, I can't do that. Point is,
Let's cap this.
I love the new tier list. I think it's very solid.
I like it too.
I love SCL. I think the lineup is great, and I can't wait for people to ascend and descend through it. I love the ultimately Bender,
Yep.
which is happening this weekend, and I cannot wait for it. It's gonna be a huge event.
When are you guys
and-
commentating?
Oh, I'm commentating doubles. I have
I can't remember.
other events.
I'm doing MA Cruise, I think. Unless you
Okay,
finish it.
you're doing
Am I doing singles at all?
you're doing the second block of doubles
with
No, you're doing the
Trey.
first block of doubles with Shakespeare and
Trey.
Thunder Paste.
What the
Thunder
fuck? I
Paste.
want his.
Okay.
And then
I love that.
you're doing
Uh-huh.
Cruise with
Unofficially.
I think you changed
Bonk
it.
and Scarfo.
That's what it is, yes.
Oh,
and then-
that's tight.
And then day 2, you're doing. I said your first block, didn't I? I don't remember. You're doing. You're.
I don't know.
You're
I
ready
like the
in.
block.
Writing the sheet. Yeah,
That rules. That's a good block.
I'm not on the commentary schedule because I
You're
have.
gonna be a busy boy.
Yeah.
Because
I
Patty's
told you.
gonna fucking be the dictator for it.
Oh,
Point
okay.
is, everybody, thank you for watching the stream. Please subscribe. Enter the Bender.
Smash.gg/Allston
Please
Melee.
subscribe to the channel.
Buy merch. It honestly helps us, but more it helps pay the people who we want to
Yeah.
pay.
It's huge. Really appreciate all the support. I mean, I've seen a very active chat this entire time, which has been super reassuring. So thank you. To all the Spotify listeners, I really appreciate you for tuning in. That's awesome. You can expect a follow-up podcast coming relatively soon. Talk about the Bender, all that kind of stuff.
Are we taking a break?
I thought we were taking like a week.
We might have like a week off. We might have a week off.
Vacation.
What do you think, Patty? You're
If we do the thing that we were talking about before.
Ooh.
maybe a week or two. Well, Mom,
I think there's a chance that we come back the week after the Bender, and then that's the finale of this season, and then we chill from there.
maybe. We'll figure it out. The point is that either we'll be there or not, and we'll do a great like finale season. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out. Y'all have all been great. You know, we're just trying to do the best content we can do. Thanks for watching all the top 10s. Thank you for watching this dumbass ramble that we just do about dumb Twitter events. Really appreciate it.
I said this previously in the podcast. We are 4 scrappy kids from Boston who have a belief about what a melee scene could look like, and whether or not that look like is the end goal for the melee scene. We believe in at least experimenting and trying out our beliefs. So yeah, I mean, we're gonna be here till as long as we fucking be here, and we're gonna keep doing the shit that we think is cool until we think it's fucking not cool. So yeah, support Allston Melee because we're gonna be around for as long as we fucking want. So thank you to those who have supported us since you integral to this journey. Thank you for being here, and hey, to the next year and a half. See you then. Peace out.
Bye. Love you. Bye.
Suicide.